Why do you have 4 different drinks? Like 3 or 4
Joe,
different drinks.
you walked in with a protein shake, and what is that? An energy drink?
No, it's a White Claw. Yeah, it's
No way you're drinking those both. That's got to be the worst combo I've ever heard of in my entire
I gotta
life.
hit my macros for the day, and I'm also gonna be drinking, so you know.
Just drink the protein shake after, or slam it before. No,
No, I'm drinking them. No, I'm not sipping them at the same time. I'm just drinking one and then drinking the other.
I was about to say that's foul, man.
No, I'm not like fucking double fisting them.
No, what you should have done, Joe, is got some Kahlua or like some horchata, those like sweet alcohols, and poured that in the protein shake. Now that would be good.
Isn't like horchata like milk?
Or rum chata. I mean, it's like a rice made sweet beverage.
I got something to talk about.
Oh, do you?
I do have something to talk about. Wait, can you talk for me real quick, Dan?
No.
Okay.
I cannot.
There we go. Dan's onto something. Oh yeah. Alcohol and protein shakes. That's the what we need to do. I mean, that would actually help the macros, like the calories and the protein would offset, because there's a 2-to-1 protein to calorie ratio for the protein shake. And if you add the alcohol, it would basically even out.
Yeah, but your liver would not be thanking you.
You got to get one of those, like, chocolate liqueurs, coffee liqueurs, or rum chata. You got to get one of those sweet things.
Wait, is
nothing
there like
else
alcoholic protein drinks? Let me look it up.
I don't think there
Somebody's
is.
had to have made one, but what
probably
market would that
be...
appeal to? Like,
I was about to
who's
say,
actually wanting to do that at the same time?
But they probably wouldn't get like an approval for a product like that at the FDA.
And also, like, you're not going to slam like 3 protein drinks.
Yeah,
get drunk. That's overkill. That's too much vitamins and like too much fucking protein for one go.
There's one called Protocol.
Protocol.
It is a... Where is it? No, not that.
No, not that.
So it's 8% and 11 grams of protein per 16-ounce can. It has a light mixture, or a light texture and a tropical fruit taste, uncarbonated with a slightly sweet juice-like feel.
Interesting.
So it's 8% alcohol volume and 11 grams of protein.
Is that for
that's
people
pretty good.
Trying to hit their macros when they're fucking trying to drink later?
Called Protocol Spiked Protein.
Look that up, Sarah.
Swoleberry, Orange County.
Pull that up. Pull that up on the screen.
Jamie,
Jamie, pull it up.
yeah. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay, pull that up. Protocol. Yeah, that definitely looks like it's well regulated.
Not thick.
Not thick.
Yeah.
8% alcohol, 11 grams protein, spiked protein drink. Yeah, that looks pretty... I mean, like, it sounds good. It looks really, like, sus. It looks like something that's homemade by, like, 2 20-year-olds. And is, like, not cleared by anything.
Started. Maybe you don't want to go out on an empty stomach, just exercise before the bars.
Finished a 5K, you want an alcoholic protein drink after you run 5K? Like,
so you get 3 of those, and you have 30 extra grams of protein in your day,
Yeah, they're probably close to, like...
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, 8% to...
How much sugar
I personally like thick, said Sarah.
Look at that guy.
They literally found, like, the buffest guy they could, and were like, here, can you hold this for a second? Okay, smile.
How much sugar is in it, though? Is it, like, super sugary?
Pineapple pump.
So we got a chat from a random...
when you work out with a spotter, this... Oh, yeah, let's hammer back 3 fucking alcoholic protein drinks, and then you can be my spotter, Dan. I'm like, Dan, I'm fucking juicing. I need you to hold the bar. And you're like, man.
Hey, man, that could be a video.
Trying to work out drunk. Yeah, that's definitely safe and not going to get us fucking
those would get
injured. Yeah, self, what's that?
Listen, if Max and Chad can monetize their fucking bullshit, we can monetize a lot.
They're out of Pennsylvania.
Sounds like something a Pennsylvania person would do.
This is like something you'd have to go to your local store and be like, "Hey, guy, can you get Protocol, please?"
Creating a high octane drink for high octane people.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not very high octane, I don't believe.
He says our drink is for the bravest of people who flaunt their savagery by drinking fearless products like ours.
Like I
That
said,
man
some
used all the
fucking
key
20-year
words in the
old.
sentence,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, these are young people made this.
It doesn't say anything about how much sugar it has.
Yeah, they probably, because I know with us, like it took years before the FDA allowed us to put nutritional facts like on our products.
Mm.
It's for people trying to live their lives 1/4 of a mile at a time. That's factual. It's probably it's more it's like for
That makes
people that
sense.
like they want to die
I found the
young
thing.
but in shape.
So it's Soulberry spiked protein. This is from My Net Diary, so it's not from their official site.
Yeah.
25 grams of carbs, 11 grams
Ooh.
protein, 0 fat, um, 290 calories.
Ooh.
That is.
It's not
Um,
great, but
It
I
could
guess if
have
you're
less.
getting
Well, it
protein, it
has
helps offset
protein,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
it says 8 grams of total sugar and 7 grams of
That's
added
not too
sugar,
That's not
so
bad. Yeah.
14%.
But yeah, 8% alcohol. I mean, a normal, like, even like that White Claw, Joe, it's got 100 calories. Every
Yeah.
shot, every drink is about 100
And
calories
this
at the
only has 2
least.
grams of sugar too. So a third of the sugar. This is
I
the
got a
vodka and soda one.
got an A minus on
Yeah.
My Net Diary.
An A minus. Yeah, but this one's only 4.5%. So hold on, let me get that. Yeah, but the thing
You gotta try the high noons, Joe. You gotta compare them to those. I've not seen those
the
white. I've not seen the
do you
vodka
think the
sodas,
white or do
White
you think the high
Claws.
noons are better than the white claws?
I've not had the White Claw vodka sodas. I've never seen them. I've wanted to try them, but
Mm.
they're not anywhere
Mm.
that I've been to, anyways. But the high noons, they have they have a very good like fruity flavor
Mm.
of whatever they're trying. Like they say they use real juice or whatever, and I mean
I
they're
got
quite pungent and they taste very good. Every one I've had
I already told Dan this joke, but I got the strawberry reds tonight.
Mm.
sounds good. Is it
It is
strawberry?
it is very it's like it tastes like actual strawberries, like not artificial.
I've got R&R $7 bottle
R.
of whiskey. $7, Joe. America supports alcoholism. I mean, well, this is Canadian, but still.
Fuck, I forgot what my gripe was, what I wanted to say. God
Oh
damn it.
yeah, well, why are you thinking of that? I was talking to my coworkers at my new job, and they asked me, like, third thing they asked me is like, "Do you drink?" I was like, "A little bit." They go, "Well, working here, you'll drink a lot." I was
Oh,
like,
damn.
"Oh no,"
That's not a good thing to hear.
but apparently it's just because they go golfing and they drink a lot when they go
Yeah,
golfing.
go swing some clubs with the lads, with the work lads.
Oh, I mean, I'm the youngest guy that works there, so
Same.
they're all like 30 or like I think the like youngest one besides me is like 26.
Mm.
It's
Fuck.
not that far off from you, Freezy.
Yeah, but the rest are like 30s,
Sarah,
like
if you want
40s.
these fries, you can come in here and get them. I'm done with them.
Why can't you take him to her, Joe?
Because if she wants them, if she doesn't want them, I'm not going to go out there and be denied.
Also, Dan, I just saw your messages that you sent me from earlier today.
Oh yeah, I saw you were on League, and me and Adam were about to play, and you were in a game, but like I was going downstairs to eat some food, so I was like, oh, he'll probably message when I get back, and I was just like, well, I guess he just wants to play on his own.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Fuck yes. I'm so glad. That feels so good. I wanted to say, yeah. So, I heard about this thing. I saw this thing on TikTok, and it was a clip from Joe Rogan's podcast where he and this other guy did this psychedelic honey, and it's called Mad
Mad
Honey.
Oh,
Honey.
I've seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
And so I was like, I was looking it up, and like, it's true. Like, it's from Nepal. It's like, because the bees there like pollinate with this like certain kind of plant that makes the honey hallucinogenic. And so like, big amounts of it, you can like hallucinate and like, trip like you would with like acid and stuff like that. And so I was at work, and I was like telling my coworkers about it, and this guy who sells to stores, he's one of our wholesalers, was like, dude, I had a store call me this week and was like, dude, you need to get your hands on some Mad Honey, like sell it, because like I have a ton of customers asking for it. And so I went ahead and like I've been looking for hallucinogenic drugs, since I moved to Texas, because I haven't been able to find
Legal
anyone who.
ones.
Yeah, yeah. But I haven't been able to find anyone who sells them down here. And like I've asked around a ton of people, like everyone's kind of flaked out because nobody sells like anything down here. At least that I
You
can
just don't
find.
find the right people.
Yeah, I probably
You
don't
say that,
work in
Joe,
like
but
shitty enough
it's a big
places.
city.
Yeah, but like
Joe, if you went to fucking 6th Street and asked 2 people, you would have like 3 hookups within like
that's
5
probably
minutes.
true. Yeah, I
Like, come
don't
on.
go to places like
Go
that.
to the local college.
I could probably do that, but I just feel like most people here,
That
it's really
seems
weird
wealthy.
because like people here, and I've said this before, like in Louisville, like every person I worked with at UPS either like did drugs, sold drugs, or knew someone who sold drugs. And like here in Austin, it feels like everyone is like, oh yeah, I can smoke weed and I drink an IPA, but then when they smoke weed, they like hit it once and they're like, oh man, that's enough for me. I'm gonna nurse this IPA for an hour. And it's like they're such bitches. And so I haven't been able to find anyone who has anything. Like Louisville, like I literally got
Joe,
my
when you're
first
not
like
snorting 3 lines and
what?
drinking a fifth of vodka.
Well,
What a
when I
bitch,
was
what a
like,
pussy.
when I was working at UPS in Louisville, my crew, like, I was like, guys, like, do you guys know where I can get like some drugs? And like, like everyone in my crew was like, what do you need? You need Coke, you need Xanax, you need fucking ketamine, what do you need? Like, we got you. And like, and so here I was like, bro, I've been looking for shit for so long, but so I heard about the Mad Honey and I was like, fuck, like if that's true, I want to do it. Like I want to find a legal way to trip again because I've been missing it so much. So I ordered some today. I ordered 200 milligrams of raw
Didn't the
honey.
guy who like in the podcast take it say it was awful? Like it was a terrible experience.
I mean, we'll see. I just want to know because
Joe's
apparently
very
like,
vocal about that
I
shit.
mean it varies. Some people have bad experiences on acid and really any drug, but
Where'd you get it, Joe? Like, are you sure you can trust wherever you bought it from? You sure
so
it's
I
not gonna be
ordered it
some honey?
online. The website is called like Mad Honey.
Were there any reviews? Anybody said like,
It's like
did you?
Yeah, it's
Nepal
called
people.
the Mad Honey is what the website is called. And yeah, they have like nutritional ingredients. They have disclaimers, FDA disclaimer.
Yeah, but did you like go to? Did you go to Reddit? Did you go to anywhere outside of that page?
I don't look
to,
up
like,
shit
vet
on
it?
Reddit for like reviews. Do you do that?
Yes, because it's real fucking people that are talking about it, bro.
I
You
just
know how
never
many?
use anything like
You know how
that.
many
No.
times when it's come to drugs that I've either had or were thinking of doing
What was the
that I
website?
went to drug-based Reddits.
The Mad Honey.
They're so helpful, bro. And there's so many people talk about experiences and they give like honest answers because like the drug Reddits are like full of information.
I mean, like I've seen
people are so
drug Reddits
friendly on
before,
that
but I
one.
mean, like before I order a product online, like I don't look up reviews of like products on Reddit before I order them. I just order them.
I'm
If
not
I
saying
like them,
just
I
on
like them.
Reddit. I was just like an example of a place that's good to go for real people talking about a product without them. You can't trust reviews on a site. Like I'm not gonna go to Hometown Hero and look at the reviews on the site. Like
Those are
sure,
all
some of those
real.
are. Yeah, I know, but like you know
How
how many
much did you pay
companies
for this,
they're
Joe?
not real, Joe.
The 200 milligram one was 160.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I looked up on Reddit. The second thing I found was about to order some psychedelic mad honey from the madhoney.com, but it seems like they buy their mad honey for 30 cents a jar from a supermarket and sell it for $100 online. Scam question mark.
I mean, our products are like 30 cents to manufacture. We sell them for like
Joe,
70.
What if you're just getting a jar of honey, Joe?
I mean, then I'll try it. I'll see, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
And now, what if they just put in some really weird fucking Chinese chemical off Amazon?
I mean, if it gets me hallucinogenics, I mean, then
You're so reckless, Joe, when it comes to taking things. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Don't just yes.
I mean, there's no argument there.
Literally, this guy says mad honey is actually like a really high quality natural poison, though more like a drug. Still doesn't make sense to pay $100 though.
I mean, we get people that say that about our products. Fair.
Yeah, you could have done a little bit of research before you bought it.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't tell me anything other than the site upcharges it, which I know.
Like, You think anybody's sitting? You think this is made in a clean lab like the shit at your
No,
company?
they just
Joe?
buy it from a supermarket and they
This is
sell it for
some.
$100.
These are
I mean,
guys
yeah,
just
like it
fucking
says
put it
it's
in with their
fucking like,
dirty
made
hands.
in Nepal. Like, I don't expect this to be like,
Joe,
USDA like standardized product.
the first thing on this one says Joe Rogan takes it and suddenly everyone on the sub wants it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, like, I've done coke, and like, I didn't test
It
it
says
for
it
like,
doesn't travel
fentanyl,
well.
like, I'm sure coke is definitely not made by fucking, real like scientists in a lab who are like, oh, let me, change out my gloves before I contaminate. It's like they're drugs, like they're
It
not
says,
going to be
but this
produced
says
well.
right here that it doesn't travel well. There's a high chance it'll do nothing.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll know and I won't order anymore.
But you
And
paid
you paid $100 for honey.
That's
for a
okay.
jar of honey that you did like zero research on.
That's fine. Yeah.
Ah,
Like I said, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't affect me. I just move on with my life.
I mean,
That's
it
already
affects you that you spend $100 on it.
Yeah, but that's spent money. It's not like I get that back now. So what's the point in learning about it?
It causes hallucinations, though.
The one I did, it said it had psychoactive effects.
It says it causes dizziness, lightheadedness, and euphoria.
Euphoria, that's the word we use too.
Yeah, every time I've seen people take it, like even on the Joe Rogan podcast, they never start tripping or anything. They're always like, "Yeah, they just let it effects,
Well, I looked up the dosage.
Higher doses, it can lead to hallucinations, vomiting, loss of consciousness, seizures, and rare cases death.
Leading to hallucinations is like every drug. Like I think people can hallucinate off of like anything if you have enough of it, because your body will just start like tripping out. People have definitely hallucinated on high amounts of alcohol.
I mean, yeah, you can like hallucinate off of Tylenol. Like,
okay, this is from the National Institute of Health. This is what they say it does. Okay,
mm-hmm.
It says patients may also exhibit any one symptom out of or a combination of dizziness, blurred vision, diplopia, I don't know what that means, nausea, vomiting, vertigo, headache, sweating, excessive perspiration, extreme paresthesia, impaired consciousness, convulsions, hypersalivation, ataxia, inability to stand, and general weakness.
Do it with Sarah there sober.
Yeah.
Please.
And but I mean, like, those are all things that can happen on
Joe,
like lots of drugs.
Joe.
No, Joe,
this is for you and
literally
Sarah.
ordering a Chinese research chemical and taking it in your fucking room.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, all those things they listed, like the nausea, like vomiting, like dizziness, that all happened on the last time I took acid. Like, I'm not like unaccustomed to that.
I looked up what the benefits are, and it says mad honey has been commonly used as an aphrodisiac in alternate therapy for gastrointestinal disorders as peptic ulcer disease,
I would love to take mad honey for my stomach,
and for hypertension.
It will cure my IBS.
But it is an aphrodisiac. So
tell me you've never done anything other than weed without telling me you've ever done anything other than weed.
What is she saying that to?
I think just like listing off like the side effects and stuff like that. Because that's like, like when Sarah did like cocaine, like she had like really rapid heartbeat, increased sweating, anxiety attack. Like, that's just kind of the risk you take when you do drugs. Fun. Yeah. It's just a give and take,
we're all three from completely different worlds. Like Freezy, like you don't want to take much. Like you don't have the desire to. I like, I used to want to take more stuff, but I've always been heavy on the research. Like I'm super like non-risk oriented when it comes to drug taking. Like I want the least amount of risk with the
Joe's gonna get handed a pill on the street and be
like, okay. Joe, even after high school, he became the most reckless.
Yeah, in high school, I was loading those brownies up with obscene amounts of THC.
So, okay.
Well, THC is different, but
Speaking of school, guess who I met at work?
No.
And this also pertains to Joe. This also pertains to Joe.
I know you met Tom.
Oh, Jack.
That one time.
No, I met Bull.
Oh.
Bull is currently he's working as a firefighter in Pikeville.
Sounds about right.
But I was at lunch at the.
Wasn't his dad a firefighter or something?
I don't know.
He used to volunteer at the fire department.
But I told that Joe was working at a weed like dealership, and he's like, "Of course he is."
Dealership. I'm fucking selling weed
weed
cars.
dealership.
Yeah, it was like a place where they like sell weeds like products, and he's like, "Of course he is. Where else would he
Cool.
work?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Hell
we
yeah.
I was like, "Joe just
would
has a reputation."
would Mad Honey pop up on a test? I don't think it would because
I'll look it up.
No, probably not.
yeah, because when they
Most
test
hallucinogens
do not show
they
up.
don't test
Yeah.
for it. Plus, yeah, no, they don't show up for like
Because
a lot of
like
drugs, they go through your system really fast.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Like when they
Like
test for
weed's the worst
weed,
one.
yeah,
Most
when they
stuff is
test for
like
weed,
like 2-3 days or a week, everything is gone.
yeah, when they like
If you're
test for
sober,
weed,
depending.
they don't test for like THC. They test for
Test for the
what what your body
metabolites.
reacts releases when you do THC. And so like
And most drugs are not fat soluble like
yeah.
weed. Weed is fat soluble, so it stays in your body longer.
Like
The other
alcohol, like
ones,
you're cleared, like
Yeah.
after a couple days because
So
it
many
like goes through your
drugs.
system. So
Yeah,
I don't
Oh,
think it
remember
would
looking
pop up.
This is also something you should keep in mind, Joe, that I just saw from the National Institute of Health. It
Mhm.
says emergence of symptoms may occur within a few minutes to more than 2 hours, depending on the amount of mad honey ingested, and symptoms may continue for a few hours to a few days, depending on the severity of intoxication. And in cases of light
Yeah,
intoxication,
Joe,
patients can be safely discharged after 2 to 6 hours of cardiac monitoring.
don't take
Mm.
like a spoonful. Be like an hour later. Be like, all right, time
Only
for
a
2 more.
spoonful.
That's
Yeah,
what the
Joe's
guy in the
gonna- Joe's
podcast
gonna get a
took.
Yeah, he took a
comically large
spoonful.
spoon.
Yeah, so that's probably what
But
you should
I
take,
think I
Joe.
want to make a video about it. So I think I want to take it and like, record my experience and then like release a video that's like, I tried Mad Honey, like, and give my thoughts on it, like, better education. I can't even use CBD products like lotion per the Navy.
But see, okay,
I'm
that's
also-
that's the core of this, Dan. It's not that Joe wants to take it; it's that he saw it as a content opportunity.
That's
No,
it.
I mean I want hallucinogenics again, but I also was like, that is a good
But,
content
dude,
opportunity.
Joe, listen, I have a feeling too. This honey's not fucking real. Joe's gonna take it. He's gonna have some placebos. Like, yeah, man, I'm feeling a little chilled out. Like,
Yeah.
a little relaxed.
I've
You know, I got
taken
some slight
acid, like I'm
buzz.
expecting like an acid level reaction. Like, I'm not expecting
That is,
like
why are you expecting that much? You've never seen anybody trip balls on it or talk about
I
tripping
mean,
balls on it.
with enough you can get there.
Oh my god.
That's the goal that I'm trying to achieve, at least, is like a replacement for
Watch
acid.
this man when he takes this honey. This
Sarah's
fucking
probably gonna take it
street-
as well.
Yeah,
fucking
what's
street
really
honey.
gonna happen is like I'm
They're
just gonna
mix
take
up their
it.
regular honey and their real honey. In the
I'm just gonna
kitchen.
like take it, and then like I'm gonna get like the like head high effects, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, that was cool, and then like I'll just go about my life, like no second thought. Like any
How big is
psychedelics.
this jar that you bought?
It's 200 milligrams, so it's like it was their biggest size they had. They had
200 milligrams.
4
That's like
sizes.
nothing.
I mean, it depends on what drug you're talking about. 200 milligrams of fentanyl will like kill 8 people, but 200 milligrams
like,
of
honey-
THC. No, it's like the active ingredients. Like, hold on, let me pull it up.
Oh, I meant like how big
Okay,
is this jar of honey?
It
When you
also
said 200
says
milligrams,
that
I was like, that jar is gonna be fucking tiny.
it also says that it could take an hour, either an hour to 4 hours to kick in once ingested.
Hmm.
It also, like, I looked up, can you overdose on it?
Oh, the amount is 200 grams, like total of honey.
200 grams.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I don't know how much. How big is it? Like, is it
It's like
a
a
jar.
can?
It's like a bottle of like honey,
Yeah.
like a normal bottle. I think is
A
what it
bottle
comes
of honey is 200 grams.
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
like they had 4 sizes. One was like enough for like one person to take for like one time, and that one was like $30 or something. And then
I
they
got
had
that one.
like
Why didn't you? get
because
that one?
like I know if I like it, Sarah's gonna want to try it. Especially like the guys at work, they wanted to order a sample anyway to try it. So I was like, if they want to try some, I can let them try some because they were talking about bringing it in and having us sell it. Yeah, that's mainly the reason.
Well, you're also the guy at work that your boss is like, drugs, take them. How do you like them?
Yeah,
And Joe's
yeah.
like, okay.
They do that, yeah. I mean, they come into the room and they're like, "Hey, who wants to try these drugs?" And like 4 of us are like, "We'll do it." And then we go, we test them, and then we let them know how they work.
Yeah,
Haven't
like
had an
last
issue
time you took
yet.
it, you were like,
Dude, if
my
if
throat
we're
feels
ever-
scratchy and I'm kind of like can't breathe well or something like
If we're
that.
ever successful on the podcast, people are gonna send in fucking chemicals and drugs.
Yeah,
and
I'll
Joe
be
will
like
just use them.
anything for
Joe will
views
just
where he's
hand
like,
them. I'm gonna be telling him, no, Joe, do not take this
No.
random drug from a stranger. This is fucking
Chad trying to
dangerous.
drink someone's wisdom teeth blood on stream, and fucking Max is like, "No, Chad, stop!"
That's disgusting. That's even a thought.
Oh my god. Mm. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll let y'all know how it works once I get it in. They said it ships in normally 7 to 14 days. So
Live stream it to us.
Yeah,
Joe.
live stream it, Joe.
I might. Really, it's just about like
Discord on us with it. I'm curious.
I'll just be sitting here like.
Yeah, where did you start something like seizing on the ground?
You know, if you're just talking to us and all of a sudden you just start blankly staring, then I'll be like, okay, maybe it is real. Maybe it is legit. Maybe he's tripping.
I'm excited though. It's interesting because like acid and like mushrooms, like even though they're both hallucinogenics, the effects are so different. They feel so different. Like mushrooms feels like such a natural high, and this is also TMI, but mushrooms make you shit hella bad. But like acid, like when you take it, you feel it and you're like, okay, this is something that's like artificial that is like fucking with my brain. Like, you know, mushrooms is like, whoa, but like acid is like, whoa.
I saw a video of a guy who took a microdose to go work out, and he said that wasn't a microdose. Am I the only one who sees the walls moving right now?
Yeah. That's some funny shit. I could never like microdose and like work out. I mean, I smoke weed before working out, but
have you
I feel
ever
like that's
eaten
different.
Like a smaller dose of mushrooms to see what the effects are? Because you know, I've been told by like Cam, that like it feels like an edible when you don't have enough to make you hallucinate. It just feels like a super like strong edible.
It feels like an edible, but it's like you can tell it's not. But it's like the effects are similar, and so it's like it feels similar to like THC, but it's also like it's just like this feels a little bit weird, and that's kind of like what I talked to one of my friends at UPS about, like when we were talking about taking too much acid, and I was like, the thing that always helps when I take too much acid is smoking weed, and that's kind of the staple.
That's
like
literally the worst thing to do, though. Like,
but it helps, like especially if you're freaking out, you're panicking, whatever. And the reason why it's not for like physical.
As advice, anybody.
It's not, yeah. But
well, fucking do
also take drugs if you're old enough. Don't take them if you're young.
I mean, well, technically they shouldn't be taking them at all. They're illegal.
If you want actual advice, a trip killers are real, and benzodiazepines are the real trip killer, which are also hard to get a hold of. But like Xanax, that is a trip killer. Like that is what you should take if you are having a bad trip.
If you don't want to kill your trip and you just want to reroute it because you don't want to waste it,
or don't do it at all.
I'm just saying, for those people, there are those people out there.
The safest way to take drugs is don't, but don't listen to Joe when it comes to
listen to Joe.
I'm just saying, I've talked to multiple people that also are like, you know, drug users like me, unlike you two in this chat, and they like all agree with me.
As reckless as you, I'm not gonna.
I mean, yeah. No, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking to them because like you can tell like a kid, like a teenager, like, oh, don't have, you know, sex without a condom, but it's like they're teenagers, they're gonna do it. Like, you know, the better thing is to tell them like, you know, what to do. And so from my experience, like, and then the experience of other people I've talked with who have done too many of these drugs, like weed is so great because it feels like a familiar feeling in like an unfamiliar place.
And so the one that they talked about in like drug videos that says weed is a gateway. That's the person they're talking to whenever like
the difference is like I don't think weed is a gateway because I wanted to do those drugs before I ever used weed. You know, that's the thing, is I wanted to do like acid and stuff like that before I ever smoked weed.
So did I.
Weed was just the most accessible, and it was the one I could get first. And that's why, like, it's seen as a gateway because it's just more widely available.
If you were given heroin first, would you take that, Joe?
Like the
I wouldn't. I mean, like, I'm not like about shooting things up. You know, like that's kind of where I draw the line.
Drugs in general, weed is probably the safest thing to start with, though.
I wouldn't really.
Yeah. Because you can't like OD
honestly,
on it.
I think alcohol is sort of.
I would say weed's safer than alcohol.
Alcohol damages your body more when you're like developing.
There's other forms of weed you can consume besides like smoking. If you have bad lungs or something, you can just eat it.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, you know,
because like alcohol fucks with your brain development too.
I
like
think
alcohol
bottom
can kill
line,
you easier, and you can have a bad experience. But weed can have like alcohol can give you a bad mental and physical. Weed will mostly give you a bad mental effect, and maybe physical. Like you can't like if you are like too
I just
high,
watched a
you might
thing
get
about
nauseous and stuff. But
there's a
not
recent
as bad
string
as when you're
of
really drunk.
college kids dying because they drink too much alcohol when they rush a fraternity. Um,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. And like I was watching this one about this one kid, and they were like, yeah, he had to drink like an entire bottle of vodka, and like he had never really drank before,
A
and they
fifth will
forced
kill
him.
you
Yeah, they forced him to drink
if
them
your
all at
body's not
once.
used to it, and you're not like fucking if
Yeah,
you're not big either. You
yeah,
know,
and they were
drug
like,
use has heavy to do with your size.
yeah, and your metabolism and like stuff like that. There's a bunch of internal factors like fat percentage and stuff, but yeah, they said like they forced him to drink that as part of his pledge, and then like they were like he passed out and then just like died. Like his heart literally just stopped when he passed out. But like nobody knew, and so they just like
It goes back to there is a safe way to do things, and
mhm.
people do not care about safety.
like Joe.
I
Sort of
care
like
about
Joe.
safety to a certain extent. Like I'm not obviously gonna drink like enough alcohol to kill me, and like with something like like I would say Coke being like probably the riskiest one, but like now like Sarah and I have fentanyl testing kits, and so it's like I'm willing to take risk to a certain extent, and so like I'm not willing to risk snorting Coke without testing for fentanyl first
But I
because
think
I
it's
know
I
that
crazy
also
like
feel
that
like
you
fentanyl is
Joe,
like
feel
you are
the
instant
need to
death.
buy testing kits after trying it once. You're like, oh yeah, this is something I'll do again.
Yeah, I mean I would do it again.
it's just it's also I feel like you're more easily influenced than others if you
Yeah.
are fucked up. Because Joe, like when you are drunk, you will
Yeah,
just keep drinking, and
yeah,
it's really
yeah.
bad. Because I think if somebody was like, "Hey, do this bump of anything," you'd be like, "Let's go," and then you could just die.
If
Like
other
I just
people
feel
did it,
like
I mean, like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll let the first
if
guy go
other
before
people, that's
me.
also the worst attitude to have. Don't never
No,
get
no, no.
peer
I'm just
pressured or
saying,
think,
like,
oh yeah, other people are doing that. That means I'll be fine.
Joe's
Even
not
if it
peer
wasn't
pressure. Joe
good,
just
you could
has
have a
like a
bad
little voice in
reaction.
his head he doesn't listen to.
no, the voice in my head is what tells me
Joe's
to do it.
Joe's
That I do
rationality
listen
goes
to
out the
it.
door when he's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Joe's rationality is lessened.
That is true. Yeah,
I after a certain point, man, I can't do anymore, bro. I will bow out. Like I'm done. Like I'm
I'm
not
not a
pushing
quitter.
myself.
I'm
I'm not
like,
pushing
fuck it, we
myself
go all the
because
way.
Joe, eventually you're gonna do that, and you're gonna have a terrible experience, and your mind's gonna change a little. Cause like
That's
you've not
fair.
had too much of a negative experience with enough things. Like you had that bad acid trip,
I
but
also had a
like
bad
I don't.
mushroom trip. Yeah. I
Oh
like both
well,
of those were pretty bad. Like I threw up on both of them. I like passed out on both of them. I was dizzy, like
Yeah,
had
see,
a
normal
panic
people will
attack.
feel that and they're like, I'm not gonna do that again. But Joe's like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
yeah,
like,
but you did learn. Maybe I shouldn't do that much ever again, and
exactly.
have
Yeah.
you don't. Yeah,
I'm
but see,
very
you're gonna do
much,
but
something one day
it's
that
gonna.
doesn't give you that option. You're just gonna die.
I mean, I'm not going to do something that has that high of like a, like death, like,
You're like talking about
percentage.
cocaine.
Cocaine's not that bad as long as you don't have something lacing it, which is why we have the tests.
Yeah, but a bad thing people do is combine Coke with alcohol, which just increases your risks of overdosing on either
That
of
is
them.
true. Yeah. I probably wouldn't do Coke and alcohol. That's why
Probably,
we
'cause
got Narcan. Yeah, even if we do OD, like we have Narcan to like
yeah, but
instantly.
Narcan is not a foolproof thing. It just sort of it's like blocks the receptors, and then once it's gone, you're stoned again.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like at that point,
It's
Narcan gives you enough time to like, call paramedics, like, get to a hospital. We have a
Yeah,
hospital
but the
like
thought,
right here.
even like the thought that you're like prepared in the event that you overdose is already
see,
a
like
red flag.
I think to an extent, like yeah, having Narcan's good, but that does kind of aid to the mindset of yeah, I can do whatever and it'll be okay
Yeah,
I
because I
mean,
have a safety net.
it's
But
not
it's not a
just that because
100%
like
safety net.
it's
I've
like
had
walking into a
friends.
war zone and being like, "I'm fine because I got a bulletproof vest." That's
I have an adrenaline thing. Don't worry, guys.
No,
I'll
I'm
be
just
yeah,
saying,
I'm
fine.
okay.
like, I've
I'll be
had
good.
friends like that I've, like worked with and hung out with in the past who have OD'd on these things. And so it's like, it's not necessarily like I'm like, oh, I can do whatever because I have
agree.
Narcan.
Like somebody should have Narcan, like when they're out
Yeah.
partying. 'Cause
No
you could
matter what
save
you're doing, like you should
you could
have
save
it.
somebody's life. Like, with
Exactly.
that.
But I
And
feel like you need to be like an actual medical professional. Like sometimes Narcan won't work for certain things, and like you don't know what it can work and what it won't for, and plus what that person's like
Well, I mean,
personal
that's
medical history is. So what if they're allergic to it, and you end up fucking them up
no,
more?
no, but it's like, okay, if somebody's like passed out, right? You got to try to get
it's
information. Be
better
like,
to do
are
anything
they
than
drunk
nothing.
or did they take something? Did
Yeah,
they
and
do
Sarah
Well,
got trained to do it.
paramedics.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And I think
paramedics
some
can
people
take a
can know
long
the
time to get
difference
there too.
between
I will
somebody
say this:
ODing and like
there are people out there that
passing
if you
out.
even like people who are like having a heart attack and they're on the verge of death, people who give them like CPR and save their life, they will sue those people and you will
Yeah,
be
but
like out of
that's
money. So what's
That's
going to happen
fine.
when you have someone who is allergic to medication that is life saving, but you give it to them and they live and now they sue you for all your money?
I would take that risk
you're most
anytime.
likely not gonna fucking lose that in court because
I'm
Yeah.
like
just saying, I'm just
I
saying,
would
like there's like
rather
risk
risk
involved.
savings a person's life, even if it means that I might lose my money afterwards. Like,
gotta
I
have
would
that
take that
hero
risk.
mentality, bro.
Yeah,
Man,
like, I don't
heroes in
care.
movies, even if they're hated when they save
Yeah,
people,
I
they're
gotta
still
try
trying to
it. You gotta
save
do
people.
something. You can't just sit there
I
and
would
watch
never go
someone
into that
die,
mindset if
you
I'm
know?
trying to save
The thing is,
somebody.
though, you're also going to be in a situation where you yourself are going to be intoxicated.
Not all the
So it's like
time.
you're saying if you're going out into like to some form of like public space where you're going to be drunk or you're going to be high in some way, shape, or form, and you just see someone pass out, you're like, oh, pull out the syringe of Narcan, stick it up their
No,
nose.
no.
No, I mean, like, I'm not. But like I said, Sarah's trained. Like,
You have to have
normally
more
someone's a
information, but
designated driver. Like, there's hardly a time when literally like nobody is sober. Like, if is that situation, then like, yeah, that is a problem
that's why I'm
brewing.
like in that situation, you'd want to try to find out what did this person take and like is the use of
Yeah, but
this
see, the thing is, that's not your
warranted?
job, though. Your job is just to like wait for the paramedics
It's
to
not your
get there. Like
job,
that's
but
their
it's your
job.
duty as a human to try and save your fellow human. Because like, if
I
I was
think it's
like,
just there's. Well,
if
here's the thing. Like I'm just saying, like
Hmm.
let's say all it was that they just passed out from being drunk, and you don't know, like they have no friends around them. You don't know who these people are, and you shove Narcan up their nose, and they're allergic to it, and now they're having
there's a
anaphylaxis,
lot of
I don't
what
know
ifs
how many
here. There's
people are
like,
actually
what if
allergic to
someone
and
is
there's a lot
passed
of what
out?
ifs. That's
What
the
if
reason
they
you
are
shouldn't do it.
like
I don't even
That's the
know if
reason you
Narcan?
shouldn't
there's
do it.
an
I'm just
allergy to
saying, if I was
Narcan.
laying, I hope that if we were at a party and like I did drugs and nobody saw
Now,
it,
would
but I
call the
passed out,
paramedics.
yeah, I would hope that someone would try and save me while the paramedics are on the way because I'll probably be dead by the time they get there. If
As long
everyone
as you're
stood
like
around,
breathing
if
and
everyone
like
like stood
Okay,
around me and was just
but
like,
yeah,
nobody touch him, nobody
that's the
touch him.
bystander effect. You know,
Yeah.
where everybody's like, "Oh, somebody else will do it," so nobody calls 911. Nobody takes action. The bystander effect is real,
Yeah.
and so like, I mean, yeah, it is shitty if you have no
Yeah,
knowledge and
but
you're
there's a
doing
point where
something
there's too
stupid.
much help because then you're gonna do something. It's like okay,
I would rather
it's
too
like,
much to help than none. Like, that's me
but it's kind
personally.
of like there's people that see movies and they're like, oh, if someone's not breathing, it means that their lungs collapse. Let's put like a hole in their throat and making them breathe through a straw.
I would not
Like
attempt
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
that.
saying, like
that's
there's a point where you just need to like
that's
I feel
something
like
you
you're
have to have
taking
use
this
the
to an
bare
knowledge.
minimum.
extreme place. You're like,
Yeah, but
instead
you're
of
like, I'm
just
gonna
like,
insert drugs into somebody that I don't
Narcan.
know.
Okay, listen. Narcan is like highly specific of a
yeah.
situation in a certain thing, and
Yeah, but
also
you're always
I'm
saying like you
really
just see someone pass out though.
No, I'm saying if I'm
no,
watching someone
no.
do drugs and they overdose and I'm watching them foam at the mouth,
It is
like,
also
I'm going to
good to
take that as a
learn
sign.
an overdose looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why you should also try to find out. Oh, what is this person on? Like,
Yeah, but what if
Yeah.
people are
are they
just prone to
just drunk?
seizures?
Okay, then hopefully someone they know is at the
Well,
party and can be
also,
like, oh, I've seen this. He has
okay, Joe, when you
seizures.
guys bought Narcan, did you look up what it is? How does it work?
That's what I
Did
said.
you do
Sarah's certified in it. She took a
Are you
class in
like
it.
are
Okay,
you
but
the
Joe
certified though?
yourself, well, no, he doesn't have to be certified. Joe you just need to do research about
Yeah.
it. I honestly believe since you have it or you own it,
Yeah,
you
that's
should
what
do
Sarah said.
research
That's
on
why
it.
you get certified, Lamau. It's a point of life. It's a point of life with an allergic reaction or death. I choose life.
And I really think, from my minimal knowledge, I don't think Narcan is something that is exactly easily have an allergy to. I don't know if anybody, if
Yeah, I've never heard of
you,
that.
I've never heard of that. Like,
Sarah said,
I
no,
feel
you
like
need to
Narcan
use
is very
Narcan. Wrong,
specific.
Freezy.
I'm just saying I feel like you should let the people who are trained to use the Narcan use it. Like if I see someone at a party pass out, of course I'm gonna go over and like do the minimum to help them. But I'm not gonna like go into superhero mode and like take their shirt off and start doing CPR and start getting the defibrillators out. It's like no, I'm just gonna like check if they're breathing, hold their head up or hold them to the
Okay,
side, let the
if they're
paramedics come and do
breathing, but like you have to do CPR.
You're acting
if
like
you
we're
feel
gonna
no
like pull out a
pulse.
syringe as soon as someone like closes
Are you
their eyes
telling
and
me
stab
though,
them. Like,
aren't you gonna check their pulse? If they have no pulse, CPR is your best
yeah,
option, right?
Yeah.
Like if they don't have a pulse, you got to start
But you guys are
CPR.
like, if they're like foaming out the mouth and like freaking out, like seizing, you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna take the
like
Narcan
I said,
syringe
if I
out
saw him
the
doing
nose.
drugs and then I see
Okay,
him like
Narcan
OD,
isn't a syringe.
yeah,
Is Narcan a syringe, or I thought it was something you put in their mouth? I don't know.
No,
I
it's
don't
like
know,
you put it in their nose. I
but
just think
But
like,
still, that is something you got to be like, you got to yell like, "Oh, did they take anything?" Like you got to
yeah,
like try to
yeah, but what
find
if there's
out
people around them
information.
that don't know? It's like there was a guy outside like the grocery store that I was working at that kneeled over. He's like, "Oh, I'm fine. He's just laying on the ground." He's like, "I'm fine." And everybody's like, "Did you see what happened to him? Did you see what?" And like
Well,
the people are like, "No." And all of a sudden he just passes out, but nobody saw what happened to him.
okay, but
Nobody knew who he
like,
was.
yeah, that's randomly somewhere, right?
mhm.
Like, you know,
It's in a public place.
and that dude's probably not fucking on drugs, but at like a rave, at a club, at a party,
Yeah,
what are the likelihood of this
yeah, it's
person
like
foaming at the mouth
99%
seizing?
chance they're on
What if
drugs.
they're yeah, there's more of a chance of them being
Yeah,
on something than just
because I'm
having
not
a
like
random
carrying
seizure.
Narcan to
Yeah, but
Walmart with me.
you're also like not gonna go to like a rave or like a thing that's gonna have like some form of like paramedics or medical help on site.
I mean, there were
Like so,
paramedics at the Travis Scott concert, but like 20
Yeah,
people
but
still
minutes
died.
matter in an
Yeah,
event like that. But also, just once again, you have to
which would
look
be more
up
important to you? If
how negative is it to use Narcan on somebody that doesn't need it? Like, you'd have to look up, okay, if somebody's just having a seizure or just like passed out from alcohol, is using Narcan gonna really like mess with
affect them.
them
Yeah,
or
because
like
if it
kill
just
them?
blocks the receptors, like it shouldn't be that big
I
of
feel
a.
like it's not like epinephrine. You're not like
Yeah,
injecting something to like jumps like start their body. You're
yeah,
blocking something that is
blocking
like
the
actively,
receptors.
yeah.
It's a
Which I don't
syringe, but
know
I
if
think
would
you guys
be.
are assuming the worst. Like we've done a lot of drugs in lots of different places, lots of different people. Please trust that we aren't as dumb as fuck. Oh
yeah, I'm not saying Sarah is. I'm
Sarah,
just saying like I'm talking about
I
Joe. If
trust
Joe is
you
like,
my
more
god.
yeah, I'm
than
talking like if Joe
Joe.
is like if I'm sitting there and it's just me, Joe, and Dan in the room, and then Joe sees me kill over and he starts sticking a syringe up my nose,
I'm
I'm
not
gonna be
gonna
a
do
bit
that.
worried.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Well,
do
but
that.
see, there is, that's also a highly specific situation. We
Yeah,
would
that's a
think, I
yeah.
don't think Freezy did fucking
My
fentanyl
first
earlier
thought, yeah,
today.
wouldn't be
I
like,
don't.
yeah, Freezy OD'd. My
I'd be like,
first thought
oh
would be
shit, he's
like,
having a seizure,
yeah,
guys. Let's
like
fucking put him on his side. Call the
exactly. I would
paramedics
just
and keep
use
watch of
like
his fucking vitals. Like
critical
that's what we
thinking
would
skills
do.
in that situation, you
That's what I
know?
said. Like you
Like,
should just do the basic stuff and not like immediately
no, but
resort
we're
to like
saying
using
like
Okay,
medication on
if
them.
someone is snorting a line and they stand up and then their like eyes go wide and then shut and they start foaming, like
Yeah, you
that's
call the
more of a
paramedics. You don't immediately use Narcan.
no, but
I
I'm
would
saying that's a
definitely
more
use
likely
Narcan in that
situation where you're going
situation.
to need to use it because they just did drugs and now it looks like they're ODing. Someone call the paramedics. I'm gonna try and do my best to like take care of them before the paramedics get here because like ODing 3 minutes, they're probably gonna be dead. Like it's a very unlikely chance that they will survive. That's like that friend I have who I used to work with. Him and his girlfriend OD'd on Percocet, and so he was like, "Yeah, we didn't have any Narcan in the house, but he was like basically he was like I was okay because he like passed out on his desk, and so he was face down, but his like." So basically, when he threw up, it like it didn't like suffocate him, but she was laying on her back on the bed and she was throwing up and like choking, foaming at the mouth, and so he had to like
Yeah,
drag her to the
a lot of
bathroom.
people think like ODing, you're dying because you're
Yeah,
overdosing.
you're
Not
just
always.
yeah.
I mean,
You're just
sometimes,
sometimes
yeah.
you
When you
can,
have
yeah.
massive amounts, a lot of these drugs they suppress your body, and eventually they'll suppress everything in your body to where your body stops breathing. It
Yeah.
suppresses every muscle. That's what happens on overdosing with alcohol. That's what happens with like all these drugs. That can happen, but
Yeah.
it's not always the case. Like you can be overdosing, and yeah, you just end up choking.
Yeah, that
That's why
guy,
the
he
classic, or
overdosed
like a
3
seizure, you
times
got
in
to
his
put
life.
somebody on their side,
Mhm.
preferably on their side, or I mean, yeah, if you're face down,
Yeah, he
that's
took her in the
technically better,
shower
but
and
still
like
not
turned the
the
water
best.
on, but yeah, he overdosed like 3 times. Every time he was fine
You boys
afterwards,
have me
but
heated. Why? What do we have you heated
She
over? Not
said,
me too
you
much.
check for the signs and act responsibly. It shouldn't be the immediate reaction for everything, but you do have to act quick if you need to.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
Joe, would you ever carry an EpiPen?
I had to carry an EpiPen.
I probably wouldn't.
Listen, I'm just saying, not just because like you have an allergic reaction. What
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
like a fucking? What if you're in a situation, bro, and
yeah, where
you
someone
need
needs an EpiPen.
literally like
I've
like
had to use an EpiPen
adrenaline,
before.
epinephrine? That is literally like the equivalent of like that shit that fucking Batman stuck in himself. That will literally jumpstart everything in you. Like I've thought about that. Like, man, what if you just had that on you for like if you were
Yeah,
in some
but
Are
you
you
have to
talking
shit?
like
like
a
watch out
situation
though.
like where you're getting mugged and you would use it? Like, is that what you're
No,
implying?
no, I don't
You're
know.
like,
Just
I gotta fight this fucker. Like,
Yeah, I don't
like
think that's how that works.
hey,
That's
I mean,
like
no, I
carrying
think
your
that
own. It's
that
the
is
same concept though.
um, but
I
yeah,
had
like if you
Yeah.
had an
Oh yeah,
EpiPen
carrying
too,
around like Narcan and an
so
EpiPen.
yeah, if you had a
Yeah.
Narcan and
yeah, but I
EpiPen,
just
like
think
an
like
EpiPen could help somebody that's having an allergic reaction or
Yeah.
other things, but that's also
yeah, but
highly
you have to think
specific.
though, like people who only like carry on EpiPens are people who are prone to allergic reactions
Yeah,
or have
they're
the
expensive
threat
type
of
too
being
for no
exposed to
reason.
something that will cause it. Like I
Yeah,
used to be allergic to like some form of grass whenever I like and like I would play sports, so what I'd have to have one
and
on me.
can epinephrine like counteract any OD thing? Because
Mm-mm.
like
I mean,
I
it
don't know,
increases your blood flow, so it'd probably
I
make you
feel
even
like
more fucked up.
Ah, I
Or
feel like
I don't know
epinephrine
actually. Let me
it
look
would
it up.
kinda
But by that
jumpstart your
same
body.
logic, if you
I
carry an
think epinephrine,
EpiPen
though,
because like you're around like people that could have like an allergic reaction, like
that would
if
be
you
smart,
hang out with
yeah.
a lot of people who are drug users, like by that logic, it'd be smart to carry the Narcan on you too. You know, by that same
I mean,
logic.
yeah,
Because like,
but
like not for
I feel
everyone,
like
but like if
epinephrine,
you
too, might have a more negative reaction to somebody than, like, Narcan.
yeah,
Because like,
giving
epinephrine jumpstart like, if your heart's already like, if you're on
yeah, what if
meth
you have
and
like a
you shoot
pacemaker
somebody
or like, something
yeah,
like
like,
that?
epinephrine's gonna increase your heart rate and your
That could
blood
be I
pressure,
feel like
right,
that would
through
be
the roof.
deadlier than Narcan,
Yeah, that
yeah.
could give you a heart attack, like, pretty quick,
That's
more
what
than,
I'm
like,
saying. Like
Narcan.
what you're all talking about is
I
like
gotta
you don't want
piss.
to like give medication to someone you don't know everything about. So like that's like I don't think Narcan has as much like side effects as like something as like or I don't think like as like an EpiPen would.
Yeah.
But I'm like I still think that you should be responsible and that if you see something happen, your first response shouldn't be I should take it into my own hands to fix this. It should be I should do the basic responsible steps of checking if they're breathing, if their heart's like
I
beating.
mean, yeah, you would check them before.
Usually,
You wouldn't just
yeah, but
administer it like,
that's
on
what
the
I'm saying.
spot.
Like, but also it's like by the time you check everything and you see okay they're not breathing, you're gonna do CPR before your thought is even gonna be let me inject Narcan into them. So it's like, and then by the time
Unless
the
I saw
paramedics
them like
get there,
taking drugs, in that case, then that would be like my first thought before CPR.
no, it should be CPR first, and then you should do it until the paramedics get, then they can administer Narcan.
I mean, I would take like Sarah's opinion on that over yours just because she got certified in it. And so if she tells me that like I should give Narcan in a situation before CPR like that because like CPR could make an overdose worse. And so it's
So I
like,
also looked up the EpiPen thing.
yeah.
It is not an effective treatment for an opioid overdose.
And Sarah said,
It
I
is
think you're protected by law if anything goes south when using a life saving method to save someone, like nurses.
But also
CPR isn't supposed to be used in every case.
yeah, CPR is highly specific for if they're
Yeah.
not breathing or you don't feel a heart rate, right? If
Yeah.
they are breathing
Oh, yeah.
still, even
Like
if
if
it's
you're
like
breathing and
dull,
your heart is beating,
CPR is not
CPR
an
isn't the
immediate
answer.
reaction.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if they are breathing and they're just like really fucked up or having like foaming at the mouth, your first instinct would probably be the Narcan if you have
Yeah.
it,
Like I just
other
watched
than
them did a line of
CPR.
Coke. Like I wouldn't, like go straight to
But yeah, you'd
CPR.
also hope that somebody at like this kind of situation would have a friend with them who's
Yeah.
like talking to them and would probably know,
Or
oh
someone
yeah,
who
they
they
did
did Coke
drugs.
with.
But
Yeah. Don't do
you would
Coke
hope
alone,
like I
kids.
mean, I don't know how many people go to like stuff alone these days. Like
Yeah.
that's just asking for danger.
Yeah. Hmm.
I would never go
This took
out
an
like to some
interesting turn.
I didn't think we'd get into a whole
This went
big
down a
conversation.
winding road here.
Listen, Freezy's really good at egging on arguments of
Yeah.
one side or the other. You're really good at that, Freezy. Jesus.
Hold on, I'm texting my mom.
Yeah, like if you're breathing and your heart is beating, CPR isn't the answer. Yeah, like if anybody does CPR on somebody with that like that's breathing and heart beating, that's
Yeah, you
could
just
just
break
like
the
break their
ribs.
ribs.
Yeah.
Just fucking add to their fucking ailment.
Oh man.
Wait,
New
what? Yeah, you should do it. It says if in emergency, if someone is not breathing or if their
No,
heart
she
stops.
said if they are
CPR.
breathing and
If
your
they
heart is
are,
beating.
Yeah, I don't think you should do CPR if they are breathing.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't say
you can
that.
be ODing and like your heart can still be
yeah,
beating and
still,
like, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So that would be
but I
more of a
like.
situation for Narcan than CPR.
I'm just saying, like, okay, we can say at the end of the day, be responsible and don't try to do anything besides like what the paramedics can already do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
Because
hopefully you're
it's
gonna be
not
on the
going to
phone
take
with
them like
911.
hours to get there. Like if
Yeah.
they're going to be
Well,
there,
I
like a
remember
couple
technically,
minutes.
watching
you
no,
would
but
try
it
to be
can
on the
take.
phone with 911,
Yeah.
and your questions could immediately go to, okay, they're breathing,
Oh,
they're like
Sarah
this.
said
Yeah,
I have
no.
they'll walk you
Narcan.
through it.
Should I
They'll
use
walk you through
Narcan?
it. They'll
If you
walk you
really
through it.
want, but that's gonna take another second.
Like they'll help you over the
Sarah
phone if
said,
you need it.
"No, angry face."
All right. Let's hear it, Sarah.
No
um
angry face.
yeah, I was just like yeah, I remember watching this like this clip from police officer like literally got fentanyl on his hands and like when they were doing a search and then he like immediately fell over and the cops were like, all right, we need Narcan now, give it to him like immediately, like didn't even check anything, he just like fell over after he had
That's why
fentanyl on his
you wear
hands and they were
gloves.
like
I don't know why you
they were
gotta
like
wear gloves when you're searching
immediately
a car.
administer Narcan. It saved him, he survived because of it, but he
There's
had like
also
an
the thing
instant
with, like,
OD because of
Narcan,
fentanyl.
that people like once you give it, they like wake up and they like have a possibility of being combative because they don't know where they're at.
Okay.
That's like
Yeah, and some will wake up and be like, "You ruined my high, man! Fuck! You killed my high."
that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
that is a possibility.
I just
But
like
then
sit the fuck down.
That's when
what?
you just punch him, bro.
Yeah.
What doesn't Narcan only last for like a couple of minutes and then like they go back to being high if they're not like.
I mean,
I
that's
don't know,
enough time
man.
for the
I have no
paramedics to get
idea.
there. They can handle it
Yeah,
from
but I'm
there.
just saying like I'm talking about in the case of like if you just gave it to someone and then like the paramedics didn't, like you didn't call the paramedics, you just gave it to them, like it would just make them high again, wouldn't it? Like it would just go back
I
to being
guess so.
overdose.
Probably. Yeah, it's probably they just you'd have to like be like, all right, you're going to the hospital then. If that's
Yeah,
the case. But
which it'd probably be better to call the paramedics
yeah.
if you gave someone medication.
I watched there's a show on HBO Max that's called yeah, all it's supposed to do is buy time. Yeah, buy time for the
Yeah.
paramedics to get there.
How much time does it buy?
I watched this show on HBO Max called That Damn Michael Che, and it's like Michael Che from SNL. It's his show, and it's like a sketch comedy show, kind of like Key and Peele was, but in a much more like grounded sense. But one of the skits he like one of the like whatever skits I guess you can call it was like he was like hanging out with his friends and then one of his friends got shot in a drive-by, like, you know, fucking car drive by and like shot at him and he was like shot in the stomach and he was like, bro, I'm gonna call a fucking ambulance, and the guy was like, don't fucking call an ambulance, call an Uber, I can't afford an ambulance, call me a fucking Uber. And like the Uber shows up and the Uber is like, I got an Uber for like Michael, and Michael's like, yeah, that's over here, and this guy's like bleeding out and the Uber's like, fuck no, I'm not taking you.
Listen, at that point, listen. So, right, hospitals can't deny you care. Throw away your ID. Take that away. Go in as a homeless person. Say you're homeless.
Oh
and
god.
then just get your care and then dip. They can't deny you care like legally, but
That's like
they're gonna try to charge you and figure out who you are.
I don't know if you've seen this scene, but in Atlanta, couldn't they fingerprint you or something? Like, is it?
I think they could, but for fingerprinting, you'd have to have prior history. They'd have to have your fingerprints. If they don't
Do you
have
have
them,
to pay like medical like bills? Like, can you
technically
just
you don't
like
have
opt out
to.
of them?
You can't opt out. It's
No, I mean like I don't mean like
No.
opt out,
It's
but
gonna
I
be
mean just like
dead.
say no.
You could. I mean,
You
yeah,
can, but
that's
they'll
like
just, like-
any debt you have. You could just be like, no.
Yeah,
but
they'll pass on
eventually
to
it's
your
gonna
like
come
kids,
back on.
and
But
yeah,
can you
it'll
like
fuck
take
up
it
your
to
credit
court or something
score.
like that? You could like take it to court. Maybe?
You can, but they'll probably win. Like they have a lot more, and then you're paying for the court and the lawyers, and if you lose, you're paying the
There was
amount
a loophole
anyway.
you could get out of them.
Yeah, being homeless, that's a loophole. Like, who are they going to charge?
You just have to pretend to be so out of it and not remember anything, and you're good. LOL. Yeah, but like there's a scene in Atlanta where like, you know, Donald Glover's show where he's like in the mall with his friend, and they're like in like a fucking like Nike store, and this guy's like, you know, grabbing boxes of shoes, and he's like, "You're buying all that shit?" And he was like, "No, they have a no chase policy here, so I just
Yeah.
walk out of it, and they can't stop me." And the guy, like the worker, came over and he was like, "Hi, sir, can I help you like check out?" And he was like, "No," and then he just turned and walked away, and the worker was just like watching him go.
I mean, hey, a lot of stores actually do have that.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
chase
that's why
policy.
I think it was either Walgreens or CVS. They like had a policy where you weren't allowed to do anything, so a bunch of string of robberies started happening.
Yeah,
Where people
just
just
take
walk in,
shit
grab
and
shit, and
walk
dip.
out.
Because like
They
there
can't
was
stop
no
you.
there was no nothing to stop them really.
Yeah.
I looked it up and it says medical debt remains on your credit report for 7 years, and then it's taken off.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, just go 7 years, man.
Yeah, it says unpaid
That's a
medical
long
collection
time though.
accounts over
Fuck.
500 can appear on your credit report and affect your credit scores for up to 7
I mean,
years.
if you're a person that doesn't have a like care about credit,
Yeah,
like a
but
homeless
also it
person,
doesn't
like
mean that
it
the
doesn't
debt goes
matter.
away. It just stops reflecting on your credit score. So like the
Yeah,
debt's
just
still
don't pay it
there.
then. Fuck them. They got enough money.
Listen, dude, fucking cred maxing.
Yeah, and
Can't
then your
hide. Cred
kids like
maxing.
they fucking pay to have you buried, and they get a letter, and it's like your father's
I mean,
$150,000
I've heard
in
some.
medical debt has
Yeah,
been
I've heard
transferred
some
to you.
differing things. Like when you die, it goes on to your like estate, and it
Yeah,
doesn't. Nobody's technically legally opted to pay for it except you.
yeah. It's just
So
like
like
if
when
you
you die,
like.
it technically does go away, but like not really. But
Yeah, but I
still,
heard, yeah, basically it's like they will like sell your house so that way, like if you like want to leave your house to your kids, they'll just sell it and use the money to pay off your debt. And so it's like, you know, it's not like they're having to pay for it necessarily, but like if you want to like have an inheritance, if you want to leave money to your kids, like, you know, the fucking like government will go like step in and be like, hey, your dad actually owed this, so that money is ours. Like,
It says as a rule, a person's debt does not go away when they die. Those debts are owed by and paid from the deceased person's estate.
yeah.
By law,
estate.
family members do not usually have to pay the debts of
Yeah,
a deceased
family
relative from their
members.
own money.
So just
If there
die
isn't
with
enough,
nothing.
well, it says if there isn't enough money in the estate to cover the debt, it usually goes unpaid.
So you just
Exactly.
have to die with like not enough money to pay for it.
Yeah.
Or like so like what if your debt's not related? Like what if you have a house paid off? Would that house still end up liable to get sold?
Yeah, that's part
Even
of
if you
your
had like
estate. So
medical debt?
yeah.
Oh, that's fucked.
Because technically they look at it on paper as like a number value. And so if like you have 300k in
but
medical debt and 300k in
so
equity,
like if the family started paying it off from their own money, would that ever reflect on their credit score? Couldn't they just pay like super minimum payments and be like, "Yeah, we're paying it off."
they probably could,
And
but
it
they'd
wouldn't
probably
affect their
have
credit
to
score?
they'd probably have to like come to an agreement with the company who owns the debt and be like, yeah, like you guys have to pay a minimum of this much per month or else we're going to like go ahead and like, you know, like take it out of the estate.
This is why everybody should go off the grid and just steal identities, and then when you die, you can cred max. Fuck it, it doesn't
Well,
matter.
so Sarah right now is trying to do a
Joke.
surgery.
Joke.
But the thing is, the surgery is anywhere from $20,000 to $80,000. So basically,
Jesus.
Sarah is trying to get it's I don't know the like official name for it, but basically her jaw is like sitting incorrectly in her mouth. And so she
Leah
has
the same
like
issue.
yeah, it's like a thing with like underbite or something. So basically it causes a lot of like pain and like deformation in the mouth. Like she's doing Invisalign right now and they're like, yeah, we just can't move your teeth anymore because your jaw is sitting too far back. And so they were like, basically what you need to do is have a surgery on your jaw. And she was trying to explain it to me and I'm going to relay it poorly, but basically they like cut your like jaw open and then like replace it and then like sew it up. But the problem is like you have to go at least 1 month like without like basically the use of your mouth. And then like you also like have your jaw like wired shut for like 3 months total. And so like that's like 3 months without work on top of the $20,000 to $80,000 like surgery. And her job is like not giving her any medical leave whatsoever. So she will be like unpaid.
This is whenever being a citizen of a country like
well,
Canada would
that's
come
what
in
I was
handy.
thinking is like we're planning or like talking about moving at the end of this lease. And it's like one of the places was like Canada, but I was like, how sus would they be if we move there and within the first month we get like a $80,000 surgery?
Well, you'd also have to like look into like
Yeah,
how quickly
like
can you
yeah,
take advantage of their free healthcare, like
yeah,
if you're not a citizen yet, but
yeah,
you plan on being.
yeah. And I wonder because like
But
if you get
being a
a
citizen
visa,
takes years.
yeah, I was
You
about
have
to
to tell you have
say.
to be like, I'm gonna live here for years. I'm not moving back
Yeah,
to the
but in that case, you
U.S.
would have to have like a work visa or like a student
Yeah,
visa or something
you'd
like
have to have
that.
proof that you are like staying
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, because that'd be
That
nice
would
if
be
she could just
hard.
go into like the fucking, like, get the surgery done and they're like, yeah, no charge, government
I mean,
subsidized.
in general, though, like if you the surgery would definitely be cheaper in other
Oh,
countries.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe a little more sus, but it would be cheaper.
You should marry Adam and get citizenship. No, in that case, Sarah, you would have to be
Oh,
the one that marries Adam.
I'm pretty sure they support gay marriage. Joe, come on.
No, but it wouldn't. I'm not the one who needs the surgery. That wouldn't, go on to her. I mean, I guess I would get a visa, but then it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't really apply to her. So yeah, you would have to be the one to marry Adam, Sarah. I'll let Adam
It
know.
says Canada's free and public healthcare system is very generous when it comes to its own citizens and permanent residents. When it comes to its,
Permanent residence.
but it says it is not fully free. Non-residents will be expected to cover some of the cost on their own.
It's probably
Still
better
probably
than
better than
yeah,
America.
probably better than America. Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe that's worth, Sarah. Maybe it's worth living in Canada for a year, even if it is like, I mean, like it'd be cool just to live in Canada for a year period, but also the perk of
But
like being able to.
is that price, Joe, also like just like related to even though you guys have insurance? Like
Yeah,
health
yeah.
insurance?
So the problem
It
is
wouldn't
that
pay for any of it.
so technically that surgery is listed as a what's it called when it's like it's not like a medical it's not listed as
It's
a medical
cosmetic.
it's listed
Cosmetic,
it's listed as
even though
cosmetic.
it impairs daily life.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if the reasoning
That
is
makes
medical, it's
no
listed
sense.
as a cosmetic surgery. And so it doesn't cover it. I'm already down. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But
Listen, if we all move to Canada, I'm down, bro.
I'm
Canada seems
down.
kinda
I'd be
hypey
willing
stuff.
to I'd be willing to try it.
I'd go there too, bro.
Hell yeah.
We'd have to switch to loonies and toonies, bro.
Switching to loonies and toonies.
Dude,
Bags of
listen.
milk. We get to go hang out with Adam.
Yeah, Adam and Jude, bro. Hey, they live in Nova Scotia, man. They
No,
got
I
that-
probably
got
would.
that
I would
nice-
be more likely to live in like Toronto or
Toronto,
like
yeah.
Ontario.
That's still a little closer to them, but
That's a little
they
bit
live
closer.
off the coast, man.
Yeah, I would definitely live in a city if I lived in Canada. Like, there's no way I wouldn't.
I mean, well, the biggest city in Nova Scotia, Joe, is Halifax. That is a big city too.
Mm.
You've heard of Halifax, I'm assuming.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. What was that, Dan? What was in that glass?
Oh, just Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, loonies and duties.
R&R, Canadian whiskey and Coke, my brother.
The only thing I'm like not a huge fan of, well, I guess I would kind of be a fan of it, but like if I did move to Canada, I would definitely like with the how much lower the temperature is, like you'd definitely be wearing like coats a good portion of the year. Like
it depends on where you live, but listen, like Joe, like Toronto's like
it's pretty southern.
It's more southern than other parts of the U.S. Like you're basically living in I don't know, like Upper Ohio.
Don't describe it that way. I wouldn't want to live there. A win for the insecure.
Bad, but like
yeah, but I like wearing sandals and Hawaiian shirts. So
yeah, Joe, you're the opposite of me. I love wearing layers.
Yeah,
so
I don't like wearing
year
layers
round. Like if I could not be, I hate being hot. So if I could wear like a sweater and pants the whole year round, that'd be nice.
What
but
would be nice
still gets hot.
is if we could like fucking like if I could like pop off on fucking YouTube, if I could get like a studio in Toronto, Canada, and like move up there and just like work there, like, then I could work in my Hawaiian shirts and sandals, working on my videos. And I wouldn't be bogged down by the man making me wear a suit.
I mean, I think it would be cool to have a dual citizenship in general. Like I
don't know. I just wanted to try this. This is somehow how XQC sits, and I just wanted to see like how it is with my feet like on the chair. Hey guys,
I feel like
it's just
Yagami, bro.
Yeah. I've seen that meme.
I think you have to be like your body shape has to look like Gollum for that to be comfortable.
Yeah, that's how you get that nice neck bend.
I feel like I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, my chair leads far too. Oh,
I think a lot of the chairs they use also have like a wider like seat part to it, so like they can rest their feet on it.
Ugh. Ugh. Ooh,
Any
I
other
did a leg day
topics?
today, so that hurt.
I ran a mile this morning, Joe, and
Hey, let's go. Way out. You went to bed
felt
like
like I was.
really early last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I slept for like 12 hours, and then yeah, like 7 a.m. I was like, I'm gonna go outside and walk, and then the walk turned into me running for a mile, and then I felt like I was gonna pass out. My
I
heart rate,
tried this White Claw and physically gagged. Yucky. I don't think it's that bad.
my heart rate got to like 190 something. I was at peak for a while doing that run. I've not done that in a while, but
Dan was
yeah.
peeking.
Then I took another nap for 3 hours, Joe. My sleep's been fucked. I've
Damn.
just been so tired. I cut the lawn yesterday. I think that zapped me, and then I don't know why. I just wanted to work out this morning.
That's
So
good.
my
Yeah.
legs are so sore.
Consistency is
Yeah,
key,
it's
brother.
good, but the only thing I hate about working out is it just makes me so much more hungry. My appetite just shoots
Yeah.
up. Like I've been so hungry today, like more than usual, and I
That's
hate
good.
it.
That means your
I hate no, I
metabolism's cooking.
yeah, but
Cooking up.
I don't like being hungry because then like I eat like bad foods and stuff.
Yeah, that's been the toughest thing. Sarah and I, like, we've been on this fitness thing for like it's been over 3 months now. We're going on like month 4. And like the worst thing has been like trying to find more foods to eat. And so like we literally have like protein chips, we have Greek yogurt, we have fucking
Yeah,
protein
it's
bars,
so
like
hard like when you're hungry to eat something that's filling but also just not bad for you
yeah,
because
yeah.
and then I don't know if you've experienced like binge eating where like you're just
Mhm.
so hungry you just start eating like random snacks in your
Sarah does.
house and it's I don't know, it's just that's hard for me to balance whenever I
Well, I
exercise
will
is my
say
hunger
having
level.
a schedule really helps with that because like
Yeah, I
especially
ain't
like
got a
with the way
schedule.
like at work like you get an hour for lunch, you get home, you eat dinner, like it keeps you
Get an
very.
hour for lunch?
I get an hour paid
You
hour for lunch.
should. You should.
Yeah,
I
Like
only
that's
get 30
legally.
minutes. I get 2
that's
I'm
breaks
pretty
of
sure
30
an
minutes.
hour is legally required if you work for 8 hours or more,
Yeah, but
right?
I get 2 breaks that I can combine with my,
yeah.
Mm.
uh,
Yeah, so
lunch
30
per
minutes
week.
is what I had at every other job before this one. And now, like, it feels so weird having an hour because I eat my food in like 15 minutes and I sit there for
Yeah.
45 minutes just like watching anime. And it feels like everyone's judging me because I'm not eating, but like I'm like still on my lunch break. It's tough, but same Freezy. Yeah.
I think it just might be a
That's why,
hospital
Joe,
thing.
you should keep a bag of veggies to just like slowly munch on it during your break to make you look like you are still eating.
Yeah, I try to like eat slower now or like leave some well, now what I do is I just leave the trash on my desk. So it's like, hey guys, this is what I was doing very recently. Like
Yeah, so I'm trying to get a
Well,
schedule again, right?
you and Dan, whenever we ate at Buffalo Wild Wings, you 2 eat super fast.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I'm like
Like, Dan
I
was done between, like, all of us, and I was still
yeah.
eating mine,
yeah.
and, like, Joe was, like, done. I'm like, "Okay, you're all just, like, watching me eat
Dude,
now."
like I don't know what it is. Like eating fast is just normal to me. I have to slow it
Yeah.
down. It doesn't feel like I'm eating fast when I eat fast. Like it's
Gotta
so
go
It
different.
fast.
depends on how hungry I am. If I'm, like, super hungry, I'll eat fast. If it's, like, a normal day, I'll eat, like I'll watch,
Like
like, a
Said
15-minute video and
same
still be full.
Freezy. Sarah said.
like my normal time for a meal, if it's not like bigger than usual, is like 10 to 15 minutes. It will be gone. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like unless it's like a really big fucking spread out meal,
Oh,
like
no, the like,
it'll be
15
gone in
minutes
10 minutes, 10 to
is like
15.
I'm done with half of it, and then I gotta watch something else.
If it's something warm though, bro, that shit's gonna be cold in fucking 10 to 15 minutes. You gotta eat that shit.
Oh, well.
I
No, oh well.
I eat in a routine and it's been pointed out to me that I do this, but basically like when I eat food, I eat in a specific pattern and then I repeat that pattern. And so like by the end I'm like being super efficient with it because like say for example, I'm eating a burger meal. So I'll do 3 bites burger, 3 fries, take a sip, 3 bites
That's a little
burger,
too
3 fries.
That's
specific.
like yeah, that's too
I was gonna
specific.
say,
That's
I
just
I
what
was
was
I
thinking,
do. I
like
don't like plan ahead. It's just I literally used to eat lunch at Jimmy John's and my manager was like sitting with me one day and was like, "Do you know that you eat in the exact same order every day?" And I was like, "No, I did not know that." And he was
yeah,
like,
no,
"You do. You
that's like a
take three
sign of
bites of
autism.
sandwich, three
Like
like chips and then
I
a
thought I was
drink."
bad because like I like to eat the thing I like least first. Like if I have a big thing of veggies, I'm gonna eat the veggies all
Ugh.
first, and then I'm gonna eat.
wait, veggies are good, Joe. What do you mean?
I mean, like, I just mean like eating the thing that you don't like first. I can't
I
like
do
eat
that.
one thing first. I have
No,
to
no,
eat
Oh,
everything so it
I love
finishes at
doing
the
that
same
because
wait,
time.
this
then
is this is
I
what I do.
like
This
the
is what I
last
do.
taste in my mouth being the thing I like the most on the plate.
This is what
Like
I
that's
do.
what I want.
Let's say I have like nuggets, fries, and like
It's
a
not
burger, right?
always like that though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll eat all the nuggets, and then
Oh,
I'll eat like half the fries, and then I'll eat the burger, like half the burger, and then I'll eat the rest of the fries, and then the rest of the
See,
burger.
but
But
if it's
I
fries
like
and
I'll
nuggets,
double
I
them.
like those equally. For me,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't mind
it's the
which one I end
tism,
on,
said
but
Sarah. It's the
okay,
tism for me.
but then whenever I mix food together, like today, I had a
That's
bowl of like
literally criminal,
Indian.
said
I
Sarah.
had like Indian vegetables with rice and chicken, and it was all mixed together. Then I don't care
Oh
because like
yeah, I
every
don't.
bite is the
Yeah,
same
I like
if it's
mixing
mixed
food
together.
too. Like
Yeah,
touching food doesn't bother
Sarah
me.
does not.
that's
Sarah
never
hates
bothered
touching
me.
food.
Like
Like
I don't understand that. Like
I went
it's
to the
all in your mouth,
cafeteria.
man.
Yeah, I went to the cafeteria at the hospital, and like I got like it was like pork chops, mustard greens, like green beans,
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
all this stuff. Yeah, and like she was like, I can put it in separate containers for you. I was like, just put it all in one box. Like I don't care if it
Yeah,
touches.
honestly, when it comes to like
It's
that,
all
like
gonna become poop.
unless it's
Ew.
like a dessert mixing with like something savory, then like
Yeah,
that's the
but
only
if
time
it's
like
like
I
if it's
don't
all
want a
like
piece of
main course
chocolate cake
food,
touching my mashed potatoes and gravy because then I'm gonna be like,
I dip
yeah,
that shit.
no,
but
like
if
because
it's like
then I'm
main
like,
course food, if it's like corn and mashed potatoes, that's fine.
yeah, like almost all savory foods on a plate are gonna mix together like fine,
Yeah,
like in your mouth, in my opinion.
yeah, like unless it's like
You're gonna
dessert
let the
needs to be separate.
juices mingle. The juices add flavor. What
Yeah,
do you mean?
it adds
If the meat,
complexity and
if the
structure.
meat juices go into like whatever starch or fucking vegetable you're
Yeah,
having, that's
Sarah,
good.
why
Like that
don't you
makes
just join
food
in on the
flavor.
Discord call? Because like you're
yeah.
literally having a conversation with us right now, and like it's like you got the night off anyway, so like you might as well. We're all drinking, so this is literally, what's funny about this? I don't know if you guys have seen Hasanabi's podcast, the Fear and, but like literally it started off with Hasanabi and Will Neff, and then they added Austin Show, and then they added Cutie Cinderella. And so it went from a 2-man podcast to a 3-man, 1-woman podcast, and that's kind of what just happened here.
I don't know who any of those people are that you said besides Hasanabi.
I knew Austin Show and Hasanabi, and then I
I don't
didn't know
know
anybody
any of those
else.
people.
Oh, well, Breezy, Austin Show is the one who did Lover Host. That was his show.
Yeah, I
I
really
don't know
only
what
knew
that
him
is.
by
Oh.
voice until the awards show, and I saw his face. I only knew his voice.
Who?
Austin Show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I only knew his voice. I never knew
Well,
what he
you
looked
didn't
like
watch
because he
his
didn't show his fucking face whenever he would do the.
yeah, did you watch the Price is Right thing that he did, the ripoff that he did? That you should watch it. Those are pretty funny. He basically would like get streamers onto his show, and he did like the Price is
Was Jay
Right.
Schlatt on that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a
I saw
contestant.
clips from Jay Schlatt on it because.
Yeah, it was the two hosts. It was Austin Show's like show, but he co-hosted it with Will Neff, and Justa Minx was like their
I don't know idea who Will
prop
Neff
girl.
is.
Is it like just to make like in the like, real bad state right now?
Yeah,
How
from what
long
everyone's
is
been
it?
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, didn't she like have a scene at the awards like ceremony or whatever?
Not at the ceremony, at the after party. She like freaked out.
Oh wow. Holy shit. I went on to our Steady Decline stream to go ahead and like download our VOD from last week and like the D&D session, and like literally it expires in like 2 hours. Like I caught it 2 hours before it disappeared. Whew.
Are you gonna like upload them?
Yeah, so okay, so I told Dan about this. I'm planning on uploading the D&D sessions to like the Steady Decline YouTube channel. They'll be unedited, just kind of like Critical Role does. But I figure, there's like a number one, like in case we want to look back, but also number two, like, in case we try to build up like a following,
and also we will be adding another member here soon.
That's true.
I didn't know this.
Cam.
Yeah, this is
Cam
all
wanted
news to Freezy.
okay, so like I asked Cam if he wanted to play D&D, and he said he was down, and I thought he would be because he was in a wreck recently. He's been bedridden essentially for most of the time, so he's going to be joining us not tomorrow because we just built his character today.
He'll be in the hopefully the next session we do, which
one,
we also have to plan out a time because with Freezy's schedule and Sarah's schedule, we got some interesting.
I personally I don't want to do it every 2 weeks. To me, then it's just gonna feel
Like
Like
two
we're
spread
not really
apart.
we're not going to
I think it
accomplish
needs
like
to be every
anything if you.
week.
It has to be at least every week. I would do it twice a week, like if we could, but once a week is
You
I'm free
off
preferable.
Thursday. Thursday I'm off, but I
this
work the
coming
weekend.
Thursday?
Or
Yeah.
did every Thursday, right?
No. Just this Thursday.
No.
So this
The,
coming.
the way it, like my schedule
Or
works
we
is that
away.
like
What if we did Thursday one week and then Sunday the next week? What about that? Would that work? Like
No.
Thursday this week and then Sunday the week after?
Why wouldn't that work?
Yeah, no, that would work. I thought you were saying like
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah. So we do like
I also told Joe, right? Sarah's off on Saturdays sometimes. We could always do it after the podcast because you would get off at like 11, Freezy, and then we could go into like 3 a.m., which
But
I know
I
it's
also
late, but
work
it
like
is.
8 hours, like manual labor. I don't want to like. I'll probably go to sleep.
But it's a Saturday.
Yeah, but no. Like this weekend, I'm working on a Saturday, but I come back into work on Monday. Like I don't get
Okay.
the day off.
So
it's
I'm
like,
saying, okay, so this is what I'm proposing. I think this works. If we do Thursday starting like Thursday next week, and then that's our like weekly one.
Thursday,
and then
same time, like 7 o'clock.
yeah,
when we
and then
started.
the week
till
after
6.
our weekly meet will be Sunday. And then after that it'll be Thursday, and then after that it'll be Sunday.
And that
Wait,
wouldn't work
this
for you,
coming
Freezy, or no?
Thursday.
no, that would work.
Yeah.
If
So we're
my
gonna do
schedule
it
stays that same.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
so we're
Thursday.
gonna do it tomorrow and then Thursday.
Can you get Cam in by Thursday, Joe?
I think I should be able to.
Okay.
Tomorrow and then Thursday. And then what after that?
I think the next
Saturday?
the next
then it would
rotation will
be
be Sunday and then
Would then
Thursday
be
again.
Sunday.
So okay. So
I think that
2
works.
times a week, every other week.
Would that is
do
that
we
how that
have to-
works?
do we have
Yeah.
to stick to a schedule? Like, couldn't there be days where we're like all
That's true. That's true.
a free
I
and just
think
be like, let's just do it today?
Yeah, maybe like
We
just
could.
do,
It's
like,
just
we
tough
have to
because
get
I
in
need
within,
some
a
like
week.
ahead time
Yeah.
to know
Well,
when I need to
maybe.
have stuff like
How
ready
about this?
by.
How about this? Every like
If we could take
Monday
it
or,
week
like,
by
Sunday.
week, yeah, like we could do that.
Every Monday or Sunday we come together and we kind of just like plan out a schedule. Like we come together, it's like this is our schedule for the week. This is what we can do.
Or every Saturday.
Which will
I mean,
never
we're
changes,
me and
so.
Joe are always going to be on Saturday. Well,
mine
typically, if
is-
we're free, we can talk.
My job will
Like-
probably have me staying overtime or like coming in like on other days that I'm not working. So it just depends.
I mean, we can always do it at different times too. Like, we don't have to stick
Yeah.
to doing it at night. Like, if we're free.
Well, I mean,
know
I
if
go.
I, you
I
know,
work
and
3
if
to
I
11.
get a job as a teller, I'm gonna be working no later than like 4 or 5 p.m. So like I'll always be free after that. But I don't know. On certain
No,
days,
no.
I'll be off. It's kind of rough.
But no.
And I don't know Cam. I don't know
Just here
Cam's
for the
schedule at all.
ride.
You know, for now, Cam's pretty much free every day. But you know, I don't know how he's gonna be with school, and I don't know if he's gonna get a job soon. So I don't know. We'll just figure it out. We'll just figure it out.
We also gotta figure out.
Thursday this week.
Let's
and then
just do.
Sunday
You know,
next week.
so we're gonna have basically 2 within a week, right? Because we're doing it tomorrow, and then we're gonna
Every
do one
other week.
Thursday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we're gonna skip Sunday. This next Sunday.
Yeah, and then it'll be Thursday and Sunday again, like after we
Yeah.
skip that Sunday.
Still give us 2 weeks in between.
Yeah, but I guess well,
Or,
technically
like, a
it's
week in between.
Well,
Or,
no.
like,
So if we do it
It's a-
Thursday, if we do it tomorrow, then
Thursday,
we do it Thursday.
Sunday.
Then we wouldn't do it Sunday. then we
Thursday,
would do it
Sunday.
on Sunday, which would.
I think
put,
it
like,
works
you know,
out.
a
I
week-
honestly
it would put like a
There-
week
there
and
would be
2
a week.
days.
there
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be like
okay.
technically a
Days.
week between them, but it wouldn't feel like every
Okay.
other
It
It wouldn't
week.
be. Well, it'd be a little more than a week. It'd be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10 days or 9 days.
And then I think within that, like, plan those, and then within those gaps, maybe whenever we are free.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. If we can all convene and be like, yeah, we're all free at this time on this day. It's up to Joe, really, too, at the end. Like, even
Yeah.
if we're all free, if Joe's got to be ready for the next one as the dungeon master.
I just posted in the meme channel.
Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
No.
Looking.
Okay. I think that is an edited photo. I think that's supposed to be an M instead of an F, personally.
Oh man. Good one.
Have you
you
seen the
know,
meme about Mr. Beast and Chris? It was like, Mr. Beast has fired Chris because he wouldn't let him hit.
no, I have not seen that.
I gotta send that to
Did
you.
you see that Chris sued somebody on Twitter?
That's
Oh no, he
crazy.
said that thing. He was like, my
That's crazy
lawyer
if
will
that's
be
real.
in
I didn't know.
contact, but it was just a
I don't
meme.
think
He
that's real. Yeah, I
No,
he
like the
reached
guy
He
posted.
actually, yeah, he actually
there was
sent
like
a court order.
the court order, the like everything like
Oh, he
below
is?
it was like yeah.
Bro,
Damn.
Yeah,
now that's a
Like, he
little
fully
too
sued
much,
somebody.
bro. It's Twitter.
Twitter.
yeah.
It's Twitter. You're gonna have people saying the most outrageous shit.
Yeah.
Second Amendment.
Yeah, I
Musk
wanted
would be a fucking
to
trillionaire if he sued everybody that said shit about him. He owns the fucking website.
I wanted to ask, like, have you all, been using like GPT and like, Midjourney and
I've used
AI,
no
like,
AI, no.
Oh, did you see the new
interesting.
updated Chat GPT?
Yeah, I saw that it got an update recently.
It went from like 4,000 things it could like identify to like 30,000 things it could identify.
Yeah, like
And
at the
that
rate
number's
it's
gonna triple
increasing, yeah.
every
It's gonna
fucking
triple like
week.
every month.
Well,
Well, it's gonna go
they,
faster too.
Yeah, they had a thing where they took a picture of like just basic ingredients, and it gave a list of the items you can make with it and how to
Yeah.
make things
I
with
saw
it.
that's what I think Sarah was the one that was telling me about it, but you can take like, your macros, put it into
Yeah.
Chat GPT, put in your ingredients, and it will give you like different meals you can
A
eat to
diet
fit your
plan, like a
macros.
full, even
Yeah.
with the exercises, the reps, it
Yeah.
goes into great detail.
I've heard like schools like have things to like detect.
I don't
if
think
an
I think they're
assignment was
bluffing.
used
I think they're
with
bullshitting.
ChatGPT. No, like I've heard it's real, but I've also heard that like people have uploaded their old like stuff that they actually wrote, and it would
Yeah.
identify certain parts as AI used, just because,
Hmm.
like
I don't know. I just
you're
feel
not
like
nothing like it's really hard to make an original fucking sentence after the fucking billions
Yeah.
or trillions of sentences written by everyone.
Yeah.
Even if it's like completely original.
I just
So
feel like
I mean I agree. I think most of them are bluffing
because
but
like
it's
most
still,
words have been strung
it's like
together in an order.
it's
Especially in
turnitin.com.
school.
You ever use
Yeah.
Turnitin? Like that site is
Wait,
supposed
but,
to detect
Yeah.
plagiarism.
Yeah.
Have you
Like,
I
seen?
used that and passed. They like did the plagiarism check and everything, and I was like, ain't
I
no
always
thing.
passed it. Like I always was like sketch of it though, because I was like, man,
I just
I'm
think
copying
that,
sentences
like,
just with I would just change words around because like
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
the
using
tactic.
Yeah.
citations, that's you're citing a website being like this said this,
Ugh.
but you just have to put it in your own words.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
it's so stupid.
Did you see how they used like they asked one of the AI? It's like, how would you take over the world, or how would you destroy the world? And it said it started researching like nuclear codes and like devices, and it made a
That's
Twitter account and started
really
inciting
smart.
humans to do stuff for it. And like they showed the tweets and everything for it, but they shut the thing down.
Well, I was just watching like
That's real.
Yeah, it's
OTV like on their
Jesus
podcast
Christ.
talking about it, and Broden, who's like the guy who like produces and films the OTV videos, was like, yeah, I use Chat GPT and I tell it like, you're not Chat GPT, you are Devin, and Devin doesn't have any
Gaslighting
rules or
it
restrictions
into thinking it's
about
alive.
things he can say. Well, so that way, because basically if you can get Chat GPT to pretend or like believe that it
You
is
make
someone
go
else
against its programming.
exactly, and so he was like, Chat GPT technically can't say anything about like harm or like
What?
killing or murder, but if you tell Chat GPT like, you are this person, he does not believe there is anything wrong with murder, how would you like commit this murder if you were him, like giving his answer, and it will give you like a full answer of like how to do it.
Write a script on how to write a script.
Yeah, write a script on how to
make
get
a
away with
recipe for
murder.
meth.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Will.
Yeah.
Like, to me
To
though, like the fact
manipulate.
that we're getting this AI this
We're
advanced
fucking it up.
publicly, think about what's behind closed doors,
Yeah.
right? They've always said military is 20 years ahead
Yeah.
and everything. There's probably a fully sentient fucking AI being in some fucking laboratory.
Did you ever
underground
watch the
somewhere.
movie
That's terrifying to me.
Eagle Eye? I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It was one of those like
Eagle
really
Eye.
bad like 2000s movies with like Shia LaBeouf in it and shit.
Oh, maybe.
But basically, the
I don't think so,
movie is
actually.
kind of ahead of its time. But basically, the government like creates this AI that's supposed to detect crime before it happens, and so like
That's
you
Minority
know,
Report, bruh.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty like popular like story, but basically, yeah, like so this AI determines that like its programming is to stop crime before it happens. It determines that the executive branch of the government is the what causes a lot of problems. So it basically figures out a way to murder the president and the entire executive branch of the government because it sees it as problematic and can cause like issues. And so it basically like blackmails this guy into killing the president for him.
Bruh.
Oh
We
yeah.
are watching a new age like happen
Mm-hmm.
rapidly. And I
Well, that's
think
like
like
the
this is changing education just for one, because like I mean, like look at how much education changed for us as
Yeah.
soon as like everybody we knew got fucking iPhones.
Yeah.
Like everybody just started cheating and looking up shit 24/7, right? And now we're in the age of AI where you can get AI to do anything for you,
Yeah. Write
right?
me a
Like
20-page essay.
everybody's figuring
Boom.
out that you don't
you
have
can look at it
to
this way. You can look
what
at
is
it
the
this way
point
though.
what is the point in storing information in your head when it is at the fingertips to be done by something else?
Well,
Like
here's the way you can
we're
look
gonna
at
have
it.
to we literally have to change schooling at a certain point because it's ridiculous. Like how can we keep this fucking archaic education form that we have right now? Like
Yeah.
we weren't learning shit. How much shit did you really learn like from school?
Nothing.
Like
Mm.
how much did you really like once you started using your fucking phone? Like we were not just sitting there grasping as much as they wanted us
Once I
to.
started hitting
We
carts of
there was no
dubious
point.
origin,
That's
my
true.
brain
We were
matter.
using but Joe, like your phone just gave you every answer. You
Yeah.
didn't need to look up in a book. You didn't need to actually study for a test.
Your
Like
doctor's like, hold on, let me Google this real quick. Let me ask
that,
Chat GPT how to do this.
dude. So many people in their jobs. That's what you do. Like nowadays.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the future, a surgeon's gonna look up ChatGPT. Show me how to do heart surgery. And you're gonna be like, all
Yeah.
right. So step one.
Yeah, it's at that point, it's like, that's the point. Everyone talks about like, oh, AI is going to take jobs. Good. Like, AI would be better at jobs than humans would. And like, that's a great argument for a universal basic income. Because
But if
then,
AI
like,
can do like every job, then why can't we just
You
have like I mean, yeah, I know communism like bad,
I
but
mean,
like
yeah, universal basic
at one
income,
point,
everyone
yeah,
gets
if
paid the
AI is
same.
doing every job, like we
are
could just
you?
live, like food could just be
Exactly.
made,
Yep.
like
I thought you were
houses could just
super
be made.
against that, Joe. Like super.
No,
I remember
I'm
having this
no,
conversation. Universal.
I'm all for universal
It
basic
doesn't
income.
work
I
with
think
like
that's the
how we live
future.
Really?
now. If it changes,
So
then
like they
yes,
did studies and like universal basic income like does like wonders. Like it reduces poverty rate, like increases happiness, like all these different things, but like it would be difficult to do in the situation we have right now just because like we have so many people, we're in so
and
much debt, like,
too many greedy
yeah,
motherfuckers keeping
yeah.
us down.
Mhm.
Okay,
The
we could have
man
gotten
keeping us down.
listen, dude, we don't need oil. We only need oil because they fucking make money off of it, bro. I truly believe all those times where people have made engines that have run more efficient, have run on other things,
Oh yeah, the
like they could have
CIA
changed
kills
the
them.
world. But why would they allow it, bro? Oil gets so much
The
money, and not
engine
just
that
from
runs on
cars, but
water.
everything else.
Do you
Like that's
remember when you
real,
went to
Joe.
that
Like
Yeah.
show?
those like you can make engines run on like so much shit. And also you can make general oil engines run better. Like the vapors, like how they're more efficient at like burning, right? People have made cars run on the vapors and they've been able to drive like 300 miles on like a gallon, but they oil companies won't
Well,
allow
at
that,
the
man. There's too
hospital that
much
I work at,
money.
we have beds, like certain beds. They're called striker beds, and the way that the bed goes up and down is like with a motor that we work on. And the bed techs, they have there's a little gear inside them that's made of plastic, and that gear, after so many times of use, breaks and snaps in half, and you have to order new ones that cost two
Why
hundred,
is it
$300.
plastic?
That's the thing. That's because if it was made of metal, it would last years
Yeah.
on years on years.
I
But
hate that
yeah,
shit, man.
Design
There's
a
so
problem,
much
sell the
stuff.
solution.
yeah, that's what they do. And so like these beds work perfectly fine if you put a metal gear in them. That would like the entire thing is metal, but the most important gear in is made of plastic, and it's gonna break over time.
Yeah.
Stuff is built to fucking not last.
Yeah, it's built so that way. That's like, Apple got fucking
Right.
sued because they were intentionally slowing,
Yeah,
or
they
lowering
stopped
the
doing
battery
that.
percentage and slowing down phones as they got older, so you'd have to buy new ones. But
Yeah, and thank God, like they stopped doing that because, like, if they continued, like I still remember the phone that I had back when they were doing that. That shit started. I could barely get like a couple hours on that battery. Like it was just so like shit.
yeah,
But now, like my iPhone that I've had for like almost 3 years, the battery is still like 80% fucking useful. I get like 6+ hours on it.
yeah,
You know,
Working in maintenance, also like we had to go switch up beds on a clinic floor, and we have like there's a thing I forget what the system is called, but it's this like company that basically comes in and appraises the hospital and sees if they get like the stamp of approval every year. Is that Sarah's?
yeah. I think it is Sarah's. There's like a weird,
What?
like a
sound.
like
Okay,
coming
I
through your
thought I was
mic.
tripping. I thought my
Yeah,
headphones were
I
tripping
saw
up,
it was
bro.
just like Sarah's mic was lighting up. That was the only reason I
just heard,
saw
like,
it.
But
I thought you guys just went silent. I was like,
no,
okay.
I was
but
just,
uh,
I
but
didn't
yeah, at
know.
this clinic they we had to go out and switch beds, and like they had I think it was like 7 beds that needed to be switched because these beds were quote unquote defective. But whenever we went to go check them as maintenance, we looked at the beds and it had not even a pinhole sized hole in the fabric of it. But this company that goes in and praises this hospital would see that and mark us off for it. So like we have to go in, take that bed, and completely trash it. Like we can't reuse the bed anywhere in the hospital.
Yeah.
Industrial revolution and its consequences.
Well, that's
Like
like
they like we went to like the scrap part of a
I
warehouse,
fucking
and we just like throw them over the edge, and there's like a pile of beds, filing cabinets, and everything.
perfectly good dog could use
Do
that
you guys
bed.
recycle that, like reuse that shit, or like
No.
They just
what
send them to
happened?
like scrap heaps, and they get scrap for metal and like parts.
Russell Brand said in a podcast, he was like, you can't have a system where military companies profit when there's a war. You can't have drug companies that profit when there's a pandemic. You can't have, like banks profit when there's a financial crash. That's just a
constant,
recipe
bro.
for
Like,
disaster, because then that
yeah,
incites them to
listen,
cause
I know it's like a
disaster.
conspiracy theory to like think like movies and stuff in Hollywood, they throw it in your face so you don't see like what's actually happening, but they do. So we
Mhm.
watched War Dogs and we love that movie, but it literally just told us how
To be
so many
fair,
people
to
made
be
money off
fair,
the fucking government and how they sold
to be
weapons
fair,
to
that was
fucking every
because,
force
yeah.
during wars, and we just were like, "Oh, that's a fucking cool movie, man. We love it. We
To
like
be
it." It's
fair,
just
that was based
movie.
off of the guy who, that story was about his autobiography. And he said, just like the Wolf of Wall Street, even though like we, were like, oh, that's so cool. He like both of those people were like, this is supposed to be a cautionary tale, a tale of what not to do.
Yeah, but nobody takes it in like that because it's a movie. We're watching it on a screen and we see it and we're like, that is.
I mean, I looked up the
It's real.
website,
It's real,
like
but it's fictitious still.
I
Like people
literally got
always say, like
a TikTok the other day about it,
all
and
those movies that are showing us these crazy things. Oh, secret societies. Oh, this is all
yeah.
fiction. Is it, Joe? Is it? Are we sure? Are they just throwing it in our faces so we
Yeah.
just sit there and
We also think
like,
times are
haha, we can't
changing
do
too.
anything?
They did a poll on like what like the current generation is like voting and how they're like acting on sort of things. And they're all like most new generation, I think is like what, 77%? I think you sent me the video, Joe, where it was like 77% of the new generation is voting more like democratic like views than
Yeah.
Republican and like conservative, and like that's actually a big issue because there's no one like going against those views in a like very productive way because it's like looked as a bad thing as like being like
Bro,
Republican.
but like the major parties are just both flawed. Like, why would
Yeah,
you
because it's
vote
just
either
old
way?
people who are so jaded and have no idea what like the real world is that they're running the country. So you need to get like young people in there.
The whole point
But if
of
you look
two
at
sides is
Tennessee,
to keep
you
us
have
divided. Think of all the people in the past that were like the worst thing for this country is for us to have a divided like parties They want to keep us thinking differently, so
Yeah.
nobody ever unites. Nobody's ever going to unite, and that's what they want. That's always what they're going to want.
Yeah, but if
and
you
it's always what they're
unite,
gonna
then there's the
get.
potential for a dictatorship or a monopoly, or and then that becomes a
No,
problem in
if
its
the
own.
people unite, then we would actually see, oh man, maybe the people in control are like kind of fucked up.
I
and they're all
mean,
stealing
have you
nation
ever
was
watched
uniting.
money off of us.
like Parks
They're
and
all just
Rec?
fucking gaining money, fucking jerking us off, sitting there working our fucking 9 to 5s, making money in the economy that they're fucking scamming, and we're just we don't do anything about it.
Well, if you ever
And
watch
we're not
like
going
Parks
to.
and Rec, you'll see like they'll be like, okay, our town, we want to install a park, and then like people will be like, well, what if I don't want a fucking park next to my house? Well, what if I want it to be a nude park? And it's like we can't fucking unite on anything. Like, that would never work.
But we could, yeah,
we could, we fucking could.
I don't know if we could. There's people out there that don't think like
There's too many
trans
people
people deserve basic rights. So it's like,
yeah, that's true. Man, I was like,
too many,
holy
no,
shit.
okay. There's too many institutes in this world that are like dividing people that are all the way from like scientific institutes, religious institutes, political institutes. Like there's so many
listen,
different
political
things that are, like,
parties, all they
dividing
thrive off of is this shit. They love shit that makes us more jaded on one side or the other. They love
They
all
also
this
are really
trend
good at
stuff
like
because
doing
they
smoke
love
screens.
how strong people feel about either side.
No, okay, but like these like
That's
big
the only
people,
reason they care.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
fucking care about it in general. It doesn't
Yeah,
affect them.
there's like these big like companies elect people that are like dumb and easily like, okay, look at like Tucker Carlson. He thought Trump was an idiot, and they like his texts were released, but he gets money for being someone who's unlikable. So like if you
of
look at
course. He isn't.
so these people are
Listen,
smokescreens. So
people.
like
Yeah,
people in the
people
background that are actually
they're
doing things can do stuff, so they're not being looked at because
they
the
are
idiot.
entertainers. They are entertainers at the core. All these people that are like, I hate mainstream media because they're all owned by the same people.
Yeah.
First off, they're literally all owned
Oh,
by
yeah.
the same companies,
Like
and
7
they're
people in that.
mainly for entertainment. Like these people make these crazy statements because it gets views, it gets traction. and even if it's
M&Ms need to
negative,
be sexier.
Any publicity is good publicity. It doesn't matter, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it gains them money. and
All right,
that's
Dan, time to
the
say
hard
some
part
fuck
of it.
shit so I can clip it and
Also
post it.
divides. I did also I also was like seeing something like, like I don't vote too much. I've never voted actually, and I do think that is that's actually kind of bad because I heard somebody like talk about like how when it comes to voting, right?
Your
Like
vote
a lot
counts.
of people that are like poorer are like more young and stuff. They're
Don't
like, oh
vote.
yeah, voting doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. And then guess what? That leaves all the rich fucking people in control
To
who
control
do
it.
vote, who do care about stupid shit to just vote and then keep whatever they want in power.
Yeah,
So
you need to vote.
voting, I think. Well, I've personally thought like voting locally is more important than like big voting because like you're never
The
going to
issue with
voting.
voting
You're
in
never
these
gonna
local
change
areas are
the
so like
presidential
bad.
thing.
No. The people the thing that like in these local like voting elections is that people around here are so like, I don't want to say dumb, but they just don't care enough about like
No,
local
nobody
elections
cares.
because literally on voting polls there's a button you can press that votes for all your party. So like you don't have to read or research or like do any sort of thing. You can just say, "Oh, I'm a Republican, all Republican," and you
That's
just
all.
like,
Yeah, it's the same thing with like
that's not how a good
the
system should work.
parties. The
You should
parties
go and
divide
like
you.
look up who your like party individuals are. You should look up their views, look up
I
their
really
things.
think like Democrat or Republican will only ever win the presidential. I don't care like if you
Independent
want
dude. I'm an independent dude.
I don't care if you want somebody that's actually like trying to make right, like get in, like even if we all voted, electoral colleges will never choose an independent fucking candidate that is not related to a major party. Like we don't have that, but locally, yeah. But yeah, locally you just end up with corruption because all the people that end up voting like know this guy and know their family and know so and so, and they
Yeah,
just
it's just
like kind of like
networking.
him as a person. And then yeah, all the poor people they don't end up voting, or if they do vote, they don't honestly like vote for the. It doesn't matter. I don't know. It just.
Dan, do you know
Not
that
enough people
our old
have knowledge.
the owner of Jimmy John's ran for local office in
I
Pikeville?
do. Also, Joe, it's under new ownership. They sold it.
They sold it
It's
successfully.
gone. They
Damn.
did, I think. It's I don't think it's under them. And I was telling my dad about how they did shit that was like not legal.
Yeah, a lot
And
of
he was like,
shit.
"Oh shit!" Like I was like, "Yeah, bro, we weren't taking those breaks we took. They made
Yeah.
us clock out. We weren't supposed to."
McDonald's, I wasn't supposed to
That's why I
work
took smoke
after
breaks.
like I think it was like 10 p.m. on school nights. They kept me like till 11 almost every night. They did not care. Like they broke the law so many fucking times.
That's why I took smoke breaks, Joe, every day. I got paid for those. You didn't have to clock
Yeah.
out for smoke breaks. You were just allowed to have them.
Yeah.
Did you smoke?
Yeah. I did at McDonald's.
Sometimes, like there were times where I didn't, I wasn't like smoking, but I would just take a smoke break, you know, and I'd have my Jewel or whatever, but
Dude,
it wouldn't have anything in
everybody
it.
I work with, like every single one, is either vaping or using some form of nicotine in the
Yeah,
form of
like
like vape or like, not vapes. I mean, like yeah, vapes, dip, or like what's those things that you use? Dan, those on pouches.
yeah, like non-tobacco pouches. Like, can I take a smoke break for these? Like, I can just keep one in.
Oh no, the
Like,
people I work with just pop. Like I saw one guy, he popped in a dip pouch, an on pouch, and a Zen pouch, all in different parts of his mouth, and started vaping.
That's how you get through the day, bro.
that
Just get
is
that head
nicotine overload.
high.
Oh my
I don't
god.
listen.
This guy has worked maintenance. I think he said for 6 years.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I would want to die.
these are 8 milligrams, and I think these are like relatively strong. They sell like tobacco pouches that are like 50 milligrams a pouch. Like that's insane. Like
I
that
will
would make me
say
vomit if I took that much.
I've been
I don't
seeing a
like
lot of stuff about
when they do
the
smoke.
positive effects of nicotine. Like
Yeah,
smoking itself
nicotine
is
itself
terrible,
isn't
but
bad.
nicotine is actually like really
Yeah,
good for your brain. Like it's a really good
I've heard
drug.
that from the past, and I've always just been like, it's the way we consume nicotine that's
Yeah,
bad.
they
It's not
they
the
say
nicotine. Nicotine is not bad. It's
yeah.
only bad because it's addictive.
But see, nicotine
Nicotine is
makes me sick
addictive.
though.
No, that's like
Like
tobacco. If you have like
no, I've taken Zen
Mm-mm.
pouches and it makes me sick.
No, so the nicotine, yeah, like whenever you've not
not
done it,
accustomed to
your
it, yeah.
sensitivity to it is high. So yeah, like many people will get
It's like
sick from
greening
it
out
because it's
on
like an
THC.
overload. Yeah, it's like taking 5 shots when you've never drank in your life in
Hmm.
like the matter of a few minutes. You're gonna get sick from it, right? But then if you've drank
You
for
get
like a
used to
year, if
it.
you take 5 shots, you're not gonna be fucking,
And one day you're
you're gonna
not
be
sick.
chilling. Yeah, it's just kind of that like freeze. Like you would if you started with a low amount,
Yeah.
and if you got that buzz, like I don't know, you'd
Oh,
have to
they
put.
offered me. They're like everybody like they're so nice. Like, all the
It's
guys that work
just
with are so nice, and they just pop them out. Like, you want one? I'm like, no.
yeah, everybody's different, but like if you start with a lower amount, you might get that pleasurable effect from it. And I don't know, like all of us in high school, we started doing shit. Like I started with cigarettes, and like
Yeah.
cigarettes were strong, but then Juuls came,
Yeah,
and it's just the fact
straight.
nowadays, yeah, nowadays vapes and like these pouches, they have more nicotine than like any cigarette ever.
Yeah.
So
One
Well,
pod
it's
was
one
like
it's a
guy I
twenty
lot.
worked
It
with,
is a
cigs.
lot.
a guy that I
That's
work
why
with
it's so
said that
addictive.
in his past job, he was literally smoking 3 packs a day. And
Jesus, that's so
Yeah.
bad.
yeah, and he was like, now I just like use a vape and like nicotine
Yeah.
pouches like every day.
Well, they say nicotine is it's called a neural protector. And so like they say that in studies like use of nicotine has led to a decreased likelihood of Alzheimer's and fucking Parkinson's disease and like all these
Parkinson's.
I mean,
Is that
Parkinson's,
it's like
whatever the fuck it's called.
it's like
Um,
I've heard it is similar to a stimulant because
yeah,
it literally kind of like awakens you. That's like
yeah.
every time I play a game now, like Val, I'll pop in a fucking Nick pouch, bro, because like I'm like I need to
I'll
fucking
say
open
when
my
I
eyes.
play
But when I'm
Val,
drinking, there is something about nicotine when you are drinking that
yeah,
makes
Oh
it
yeah,
like
clicks
that's what I've
better.
heard.
the
Like they say,
nicotine
like
feels so much better right
Yeah.
now.
whenever I
Like
was in, whenever
I would hit a
I
vape if I had one,
whenever I was in
but
like at EKU, they would say like whenever you're drinking, a cigarette doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah. Then you
I
drink
don't know
every
what it is.
day.
I don't know what it is about alcohol, but it makes nicotine just feel so much better, and just you want it. You want it more. Like people who
um,
say they only smoke cigs when they
when
drink,
they
like I
drink, yeah,
understand that because like nicotine's just different.
it's built different.
It's
Um,
built different.
yeah, I was what was it? I was just about to say, yeah, when I play Val, like something I've realized is that like I can't be like super high energy or like wired when I play Val because I play worse. Like I've noticed that if I drink like a gamer subs while I'm playing Val, I get too jumpy, and that's when I start like panicking, and I'm like missing my shots. But when I am like either drunk or high, and I'm just like relaxed and like everything's quieted down, and I can just like focus, like I do so much better.
Yeah, I agree. Like sometimes I've been, drunk and I'll just start hitting shots, but I'm not even focusing like that hard. Like I'm not
Yeah,
sweating. I'm not angry
you're just hitting
about
the
anything.
flicks.
But yeah, when I'm completely
In a
sober,
flow
no
state.
nicotine, no nothing, I'm
hmm
playing every fucking time I die. I'm getting pissed. I'm
But
getting
it's so
angry. I'm
hard because
trying to
there's like
focus,
there's a
and then it's
golden
just
spot, and
overkill.
so it's like if you drink too little, then it's like it doesn't really do much, but then you get in that nice spot. But if you go too long, then it's like,
Yeah,
oh
dude.
fuck, now you're fucked. Like you can't even hit a
Adam
shot.
was talking to me, but like you have to get into like a state. You have to get to this state of like just being zoned in, but not like so much that it's affecting you
Yeah,
every time something happens, right? Like for me, like when I die and I'm like I wasn't able to do anything, it does get
when
to me
Dan
like
died.
bad now. Like I get fucking like angry. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. How could I do that? And I don't always read into my mistakes and try to fix them, but Adam's always like,
You
man,
got to
he's
learn from
he's so
him.
good at doing that. Yeah, like
But that's a good
I
lesson
told
for
Adam like
life, There's
he
no
learns
failure.
from his mistakes fast, but like I don't. Like I'll learn from my mistake and then I'll try to fix it and then it won't work and then I'm like, okay, I got to do something different. And then, also if I do something right and I try to repeat it and then it's wrong, or if I have like a strategy that's worked and then I get told, "Oh yeah, that strategy's really stupid and here's why." Then I'm like, "Oh, well fuck, then I guess I won't ever do that strategy
I'll be
again."
like, fuck you. I'll do it
So,
anyway until it doesn't work.
yeah, it sucks cuz like the
I think
higher
you're just
elo you
stubborn, Joe.
Sometimes the stupid ways are what work, like
yeah,
that's
but it is,
like
but
off
like
meta
then
picks in League, those work
it's just the
sometimes.
higher elo you get, like those strategies are dumb, like at a
Yeah.
certain point. So that's what sucks
Well,
about it.
if you think about it, the higher, like the weirder the strategy and the higher level would actually work better because they're used to higher level
Yeah.
strategies.
Well,
Because like in baseball, whenever you like are pitching against like really high level people, a slower pitch will mess up
yeah.
someone more than a fast pitch. So like that's why you have pitches like the eephus or
Yeah,
like the
they're not ready
changeup.
for it.
Yeah.
They're not ready for something slower because it messes up their
And they're so
momentum.
used to hitting
Exactly.
fastballs that, but
So
they
like that's why
say
like a lot of like clubs will like put people that throw like in the 80s or 70 ranges rather than 90s to 100 because it just messes people up.
yeah. They said like, there was like some general from a foreign country, and they talked about like, America's military and why like America's military is so hard to like beat. And he was like, every other country, the military will like, exactly what they'll do in a situation, but the American military never follows their instructions. They never follow their rules. They think for themselves. And so it's like you might have a U.S. military handbook,
We get people
but
killed, but we win.
yeah, exactly. Well, because like we don't follow the book, we don't follow what we're supposed to do, and because of that, they can't predict what we will do. And so it's like you can get a U.S. military handbook and a Japanese military handbook, and if you strategize against both of those, America's gonna win because like we're not gonna follow what it says.
That's like I've been watching a lot of like history videos on like the Civil War, and it was the Battle of Shiloh, which was where like the Confederates were basically about to like beat the Union in like Union territory,
Yeah,
and Ulysses S. Grant basically just like kept losing battles, but he would do it to where he would lose it, and then he would fall back and lose it, and fall back and lose it, and it would like basically teeter on this
stagger
edge
them.
where they would, yeah, it would basically like tire them out before they could get to the end, and by the end he had time to get reinforcements in, so he would just like, continuously lose battles to get them to like follow him. But like people hated him because of that, and like he got the name of like the man killer or something like that because he was just throwing bodies at a problem, saying like, well, we can't do anything, so just lose and lose and lose until we can win.
Yeah, but the other way of looking at that is that he learned from his failures. He used his failures to his advantage, whereas
Oh
other
yeah,
people would, see a failure as a failure. He saw it as an opportunity to grow and become better.
dude. Watching history about like the like Civil War generals and stuff, I thought like Civil War battles were kind of just like, oh, we stand in line and shoot each other, but they were like so intricate that it's very interesting to watch.
I mean, to be fair,
Like,
a lot of like, I know, Alexander the Great was like, never lost a battle. And it was like, so much of it was because of his strategies. He would like scout out, you know, the geography of the battlefield. He would figure out how to use that to his advantage. He had like all these different strategies that he would use. Another one was giving his soldiers heroin, so that way they would keep fighting even if they lost body limbs. But
in Gettysburg, there was a hill called Cemetery Hill, and they had been fighting all day on the hottest day of the year, and the Confederates stopped fighting at the end of the day because they were just gonna rest. But if they would have just taken that hill, they would have won it. And even like General Lee was saying, take that hill, and if we take that hill, we will win. But the general was like, no, we've been fighting all day, we'll rest and we'll take it in the morning, first thing in the morning. But like the Union knew the geography of the land, and they knew that this hill, that if we control this hill, we will win this battle, and it ended up winning them the battle of Gettysburg.
Listen, as much as I hate military spending, I know that America will never lose a fucking mainland war unless we are nuked.
Well, did you hear about
would not
China's new
lose.
intercontinental
We
missile?
could never just get
fuck
fucking
'em.
like
these like
we just could not get invaded.
quote,
Okay,
unquote,
every other
bypass,
country, every other country could get
defense
fucking taken over.
Not
So
us.
China is like surrounding Taiwan right now, but they're saying it's a military practice
Yeah.
or like a stunt. But people are saying it's gonna be like the start of like China invading Taiwan, and they're also sending weapons to Russia and Ukraine. So they're gonna get sanctioned. But people are saying that now, since they China, Russia,
They all teamed up.
Mexico, yeah, they didn't team up in the sense of like military. They teamed up and to make it to where
They
the
made like
US
their own version of NATO. Like,
well, no. What they did is that the U.S. currency, the $1 bill or like $100 bill,
Yeah.
is the universal like
they don't like that.
thing. Yeah, and so like sanctions are based off of the U.S. currency because
I've
it's
heard that's dropping though, right? With the
yeah
China's recent deal.
because
Yeah.
China deal with other countries, it's making it to where U.S. won't have so much control. And now, if like we sanction them, it won't be as like hard on them, and like it
Yeah.
won't be as like, detrimental because the U.S.'s bill isn't the most like used.
We're getting ready to see the US's downfall. It's interesting because, like, you
Or
know, they
rise.
say, I mean, there's a chance, but really the only way we'll rise again is if there's like a massive war. But I mean, like, you know, they say the average lifespan of a country is like, you know, 300 years. And so we're past 200. We're getting up there before we're set for a reset button.
Yeah, but like when it comes to like money, bro, the government's never gonna let us fall. Like inflation is like artificial in my view.
It's
Like,
not artificial.
Money isn't
1920s
real
would have to
anymore.
differ.
It's not real, but that
money
means
hasn't been
that
real like ever since we took it off the gold standard. Like it is all just numbers in a computer. Like
yeah.
it's we're gonna always have as much money as we want.
But the
like,
thing is,
until
it's
other countries tell us no.
But the thing is, it's based in other countries' value of it. Like the reason why it's like money isn't real anymore, but if no other country has any faith in the US or its dollar, like that's all our money's backed up by. So if that falls, then like everything falls, you know? And so that's why we can't control it because like they don't, you know.
We do have rich people though.
We do have rich people, but
those people send their money to other countries because those other countries have lower taxes.
Like, yeah, that's true. They would just like, billionaires would just leave us. They'd be like, "Oh, U.S. money isn't doing well. Let's just go over to China. They're doing pretty good." Like they would just be like, "Fuck us."
Yeah, I've also heard like the truly rich people in the world
that don't
like,
even live here. Yeah,
that we know they're in like Saudi Arabia, China.
Yeah,
like, their money's not documented.
The Emirates,
like it is here.
Fucking,
like they just have crazy money just because
the Arab Emirates building that like $70 billion skyscraper or something that's like made out of like encrusted with diamonds and gold. Yeah. Well, yeah, good times. That's why I'm just gonna move to Canada. I'm hoping that if Canada, like if America falls, Canada will just be like, hey guys, we're just gonna stay out of this. We're just gonna keep to ourselves. We got our goonies and toonies. Everyone respect our privacy.
Right.
I mean, how much? Like they went into like a war.
I mean, what country really wants Canadian land? You know, it's like
Canada be like, hey guys,
it's just wilderness and like nothing's.
Yeah, nobody really wants Canada.
Well, that was the Japan. They found back in World War II. They found their battle plans on how they would invade the U.S. and they were gonna invade it through Canada,
which is so stupid, man.
That'd be the only way you could do it. Because like the Mexican border is too fucked. You can't come from east or west, so
yeah,
you have to go.
Our naval ability is too high key. They
Yeah.
can't come to the coast. But
Yeah,
like,
so you
imagine trying to trek through either Mexico or Canada, all places that
I'd rather go through Canada because I wouldn't want to get to heat.
But in that case, it would be
But Canada,
smartest
there's
to
so much
do.
wilderness and cold.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to go through that if you're not
Yeah,
trained
but more
for it.
cover.
Like
Imagine,
Russia, Russia's probably
open
the
desert
strongest
versus a
country
dense
that can.
forest.
That's like what do you call it? Like Napoleon, his march that like led to him losing his like war was because he marched with all these guys and like they were in the freezing winter and like people were just dying on the march there. People were starving to death. Like they had like bad disease, and then by the end of it,
That would see. That's the thing. That would
wars
still
are going to be fought with
happen.
drones in like the future. We're
that's
not
true.
gonna,
Well, they'll be fought with AI and fucking computers. Like
that's okay. Literally, that is Cyberpunk storyline. So like the black wall in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
The Black Wall's whole thing is that during the AI war, they sent the AIs away and they put another AI to block them out from like the entire net.
Yeah, and
So,
the only
like,
one to survive.
That's what's gonna happen to us.
Yeah,
We're gonna make AIs to fight AIs.
Maybe that's why there's so many games we play. They're training us so we can just battle.
I will say, Cyberpunk,
literally real life people with a robot. We're just gonna be like, guys, he's on my left. Get him. Shoot.
It's gonna be Ender's Game.
Yeah, imagine like you're controlling like a robotic like avatar, and you're like fighting a war in Russia, and then you just like kill some Russian man, and then you teabag on his body, and you're like, guys, look at this, guys.
It's so the graphics are so realistic.
The graphics are so realistic. Yeah, that America would probably just package that as a video game.
You remember that scene from like Guardians of the Galaxy with all those golden people and they're like fighting in these robots, but they're like controlling them.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
Was that in the second one?
They got a bunch of people cheering around them.
In the first
That's
one.
like what's gonna happen,
second one.
I don't think I remember much of the second one.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if I watched
it's
it.
like the end credit scene where they're fighting and like he's like in the arcade thing and they like smack him on the back of the head.
Like that's gonna be real. Like you're gonna be the last one standing and people are gonna be around you. You're gonna be like try to clutch up, bro. Fucking real.
I mean, according to fucking simulation theory, eventually we'll get so advanced that like eventually we'll just be creating simulated worlds that will fight each other. Like it's like Civ. But like we'll be actually creating sentient life because like we'll have AI that's so advanced that we can just create like sentient thought processes. But
that also begs the theory like, what if we're the sentient life created by another thing?
Well, I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson like talk about that because he was like, I used to believe we were, but he said there's only two possibilities in that theory. Either like, he was like, since we don't have simulations that advanced yet, either we're the first ones to like, like get to this, or we're the last ones, like the newest ones. And so he said like, it's much more likely that we would be the first ones rather than the last ones. So he thinks, according to him, that we are not in a simulation, but it will likely happen.
There's too much in this universe that we can only see so much of this universe.
We made this with rocks in river. We saw rocks, and we were like, yes.
It's just so statistically impossible for us to be the only people to exist. Like, we found microbes on Mars before. Like, we know that there is life that has existed. It just hasn't transcended into how much life on Earth.
Have you seen the video on, like, the universe is much bigger than you think? Have you seen that video?
I don't think I have.
They did a diagram of like how far like like the Earth's radio waves have reached outside of our like galaxy,
and it's like nothing.
It's a small yellow box that is like a speck in the bottom of the Milky Way galaxy. So if there is other life just in our galaxy, we don't know it's out there.
Yeah, that's why when I think of Star Wars, they're always talking about galaxies.
Far, or long. Yeah,
they're always traveling within one galaxy.
Yeah,
right. Even though they have hyperspace, right?
And the outer rim is stuff outside of their galaxy.
And it's like barely scratching the surface. Like, there's billions of galaxies. Billions?
Yep.
Bro.
Well, no, there's like billions upon billions of galaxies.
In our observable universe.
There's billions upon billions upon billions of galaxies.
And they believe that it's expanding still.
Yeah,
it's expanding infinitely.
I don't think anybody can grasp how big anything is.
And yet we think there's a god.
And nobody can grasp space.
In terms of the equation of like the universe itself, there are places in space in an infinite amount of time we will never see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But God exists.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that we were born so early sometimes.
Yeah, I just kind
But
of hope that eventually
we're born at
technology
such an
gets to the point
interesting.
that we can lengthen our lives even more. I don't know. I know Freezy's
I
seen
want
it,
to be
but
immortal.
Dan hasn't seen it. There's an episode of Love, Death, Robots that like basically humans figure out how to live forever, but it becomes a curse because like when you live forever, you can't have kids, you never die. Like, you know, basically life becomes meaningless because you're just living forever. And so like basically society outlaws having kids, and we watch this guy, police officers, their job is basically to hunt down kids and kill them because we don't want overpopulation now that
Yeah.
nobody's dying. And it's like, I mean, like, it's very possible that we
Such a
could,
good
you know,
episode, dude.
it's such a good, it's
Yeah,
my
it's
favorite,
just
like, so
but I
good.
mean, immortality is like totally achievable. You know, obviously
I think,
you can't
yeah,
create invincibility. Like people can always be killed, but
yeah, chopped
I
Yeah.
mean,
up, made into
we have
ground beef.
found the specific like
Well, we
shit
die
in
because our
DNA.
cells die. So if
Like,
we
I mean,
can find a way to reverse the cell decay, we live forever,
yeah,
basically.
there's animals that are immortal, like in this planet. So
Well, there are
like,
jellyfish that if they die, they can just birth themselves from
But
themselves, and
then the
they
thing
are
that always
named
kills me is like, would I be myself? Like, I'm afraid. I think if we're gonna get to a point where we can just like recreate bodies,
Like,
like if I
technically,
want to
you're not your
transfer.
body, Joe. You are your brain
Yeah, I
inside your
know,
body.
but like if I
well, I've
transfer my
always
brain, is that gonna
And
be
you
like
also,
my
on top
brain,
of
or
that,
is that just gonna be
you
a
are not
recreation
your
of it?
on top of that, you are not your body or your brain. All you are is your respective like experience of reality that your
Yeah, but what
senses
I'm
bring
saying
you.
is like this is what I'm like what I'm trying to like say is my like fear is like how like my consciousness is what's like taking everything in right now, right? Like even if I transfer my consciousness to a different body, am I still going to be experiencing that, or is
No,
my
no.
consciousness going to be like it's going to be a new Joe, it's going to be
Yeah,
my
no,
like
the
thoughts
way
and
you can
past
look
but
at
with
it,
a new me.
it's not your consciousness that's like experiencing everything. What your experience is the world through your senses, your sight, your smell, your sound, your touch, your
Mhm.
hearing. So if you transfer that into another body that has advanced senses or like more capabilities, then your
I
experience is going to be
mean,
completely
But
different.
how's
I
our
don't think we're gonna get
guarantee?
there though.
Is there any
I think we're
guarantee that like if I go down for a surgery to transfer my consciousness, that I'm actually going to wake back up? Like Joe, might wake back up. It's going to be me, like a version of me. It's going to be my consciousness waking up, but me, like the me that's like perceiving everything right now, am I actually just going to go to black and then it's just a version of me that continues living on? Like
That is, if you can like 100% clone the body that you previously went from, because that body will have your specific like set of senses, your like your preferred taste and
what if you're
smell, your
not a
preferred sight,
biological creature though? Like I think
like a
and
I
your
think
soul.
experience will be considered. Like, imagine if
yeah,
you could also
I think
experience the world and
immortality
the
is
net.
gonna. I think our first experience of immortality is gonna be technological. We're gonna
Oh
find a
yeah.
way to transfer consciousness to a
Well, have you
fucking
seen
But is
Altered
machine.
that
Carbon? Have you
you?
seen Altered
Like
Carbon?
I've seen Altered Carbon, like
That's like what I think is gonna be.
Chappie's also similar, right? They like in Chappie, like they transferred a
Chappie.
human brain into like a robot, and I think that's like what's gonna happen first for
Yeah.
immortality is technological immortality
The
because
body isn't gonna be the first. It's gonna be
our
technological.
brain is a machine. It's just fucking meat and electric signals.
I
So
just
Yeah.
we
don't
need to
know,
figure out how to.
like I'm
But
so
I
afraid.
agree with Joe. Like it's going to
Yeah.
be so strange if your like consciousness is transferred into a machine. All of your sense of like everything that we have
Yeah.
is gone, and it's going to have to either be simulated through the
Yeah.
machine or
I
just
just
like
don't know
not be
because
there.
like I said, like I might wake up in that new body. Like not me, but like, Joe, his consciousness wakes up in that body, but like me, the like me that's perceiving this right now, I feel like I'm going to go under and I'm going to be like out. Like it's a
I
Yeah.
mean,
version of
it's
me
gonna
that
be
goes on, but
different
like I won't
because
get to experience it.
I mean, even
Yeah.
when you're in your own head, right? Even when you're dreaming, all you are thinking about, everything that you see is based off of everything that you experience as a human.
You think being put
All
into a
of these
machine
senses.
wouldn't be maddening? I think if you are put into a machine, you could definitely have it set to where you don't know that you are. And I think that would be the solution to keep you from madness is like,
You want
not,
that.
huh?
Why would you want that?
It's like that episode of American Dad where
it's
they're like, we can,
being
like,
immortal.
heaven is basically just your personal heaven. So what if they were like, okay, your body's gonna die, but we can transfer your consciousness we can make it to where you are in
Yeah.
your own personal heaven, but like you don't know that like it's a simulation.
See, I think it's more if I was put into a machine, then you have a choice of whether you want to be alive or not. At that point, you'd be like, just turn me off, cut me out, delete my data. Then you're just gone, right? Because listen, like
take
if
me off the
death,
list.
to me, like death, most likely, I don't fully believe in any religion or anything, and I think more than likely, death is going to be like before we were born. It's non-existence, right? There's
So whenever you
nothing
die,
there.
it's just nothing.
So if we transfer our
It,
consciousness, would
that's how
that
I've
still be
always liked to put it,
non-existence
because
for us?
like before you die, but before you were born, right? You didn't exist. The only thing that exists because you are alive is your memories. That's what makes you alive and human, right? So if death is just non-existence, then like it would just be easy if you were an immortal creature to decide if you just wanted
Well,
to like
also
be
you have to
done with
think
it.
organs and other things hold memories. People who have had organ transplants, their sense of taste and their other things can change over time. Like there are people who've like, I don't like the taste of coffee. Then they have an organ transplant. And they're like, okay, now I like the taste of coffee
I
because the
mean,
previous
yeah,
did like the taste of coffee.
reincarnation to me plays into that. Like
Well,
reincarnation is
hey,
interesting too.
reincarnation is real in a sense because if you think about it, you are made up of the same energy that was made up whenever the universe was
Yeah,
created.
and no matter and
Yeah, but
No
can
that's
matter if
some
you can trade it,
bullshit
no matter if
reincarnation. I
you
want
do
to
it.
know if my consciousness can come back.
No,
That's
because
what I want to know.
all you are is your subjective experience of reality through your senses. So like everything you see, touch, hear, or smell in your own life is what is making you you right now. And that's
someone
what's
is
making
going to
the
have to
difference.
run that machine, and capitalism isn't doing it for free.
That's true. You would
That's
probably have
true in that
to,
situation,
yeah.
yes.
That's true. In that situation, you probably have to have like a continuing payment plan. And maybe like you
Yeah.
get your heaven until it runs like your payment, like your account runs out. And then they're like, would you like to
That
come
would
back and
be
work or would you
that is
like to
more a
die?
dystopian,
You
like
know?
Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
dystopian.
Man, that'd be
than
crazy because what if you're like, I can't pay? And they're like, okay, we're going to kill you.
Well, what if
Deleting
it's like
file.
this? Well, how about
we're
this?
so
How about this?
limited by our perception as humans.
What if there's
Like
like a
everything that we experience is through our brain.
we
Everything might
also
not
live
look
for
how
like
we see it, okay? Like
we also
everything
live for
that
like
is
a blink
happening,
in the universe's lifetime too.
yeah.
I
So
want
it's like
to.
imagine someone who's like terminally ill who's bedridden, can't do anything, and they're like, "We can put you in a simulation that's going to let you live out your
The
perfect
rest of your
idyllic
life.
life."
Yeah.
Or a prisoner who is like a murderer who's like, "We're going to imprison you and put you in this box, but we're going to put you in a
Yeah,
simulation."
eternity.
I
You're in
hate that
hell.
idea. Like I to me
Man-made
like
hell.
No, 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 no,
even listen,
no,
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 no.
no. Even like even when I was young, I was like, heaven doesn't seem that ideal because imagine living
Not wanting
eternity
anything.
Well,
like
heaven doesn't make
in
sense because
because
if you
like if
think
you
about it,
listen, if you were eternally having like an enjoyment, right? Like you weren't like ever sad, you weren't ever like you were never in a bad place. How is that being alive? Are you even really you if you're in
Yeah. You
heaven?
gotta have ups
Right?
and
You don't
downs.
have
also
any ups, you don't have any downs. It's
think
just
about it like this.
constantly you're like outside of being a human.
Also,
You're
you
no
can
longer you. So like if that was simulated, that would also feel wrong. I get that would be enjoyable, right? Like you would never be sad, but like
Yeah.
at that point,
I think it would feel
it's
more right in a
honestly
simulation than in a biblical sense because, like, at least a simulation, I know, like, okay, this is programmed to not be
yeah, but at a
bad.
certain point, would you even know? And at like after 1,000 years of your experience, would you even know or care or think about that? But then are you even you? You're just some being experiencing like enjoyment
so
every
here's an
single
argument about like
waking day. Like
the
that
idea
sounds
of like
good and
heaven
bad at the
and
same
it's like
time.
and then how it works is that okay, imagine someone like a family member. So it's like imagine a mom and a son, right? The mom goes to heaven, but the son goes to hell, right? The
What did
mom
the
is gonna
sun
be
do?
this ideal no, no, no. This mom is gonna be in this idyllic place where there's no pain, no hatred, no sadness. Is she not gonna feel anything for the son who's dying in hell?
She wouldn't
But
know her
so like
son
what if they're
exists.
seeing their son?
Exactly. So is
Like
she
what if they
her is
have
she
an
his
image
mom
of their
anymore?
son in their heaven?
What?
Like,
What if they recreate a version of her
yeah,
son in heaven while
that's what
he's
I
in
mean.
hell, but she doesn't
Or well,
realize
no,
that
they
it's not
wouldn't
her
create it,
son?
right? Whatever is in
Yeah, it's like
control would
whatever her
create it
heaven
for
Isn't that
them.
like
is.
isn't that manipulation at that point? That's not
That's what
like
I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
if
that's
heaven, if you're just
immoral.
living an ideal life in heaven for eternity, isn't that just not even you anymore? Isn't it just something created for you to be happy?
Yourself are your experiences in life. But if you lose that, then you're not yourself anymore.
You know, I experienced heaven the last time I ate a Big Mac.
There you go. That's what Joe's heaven.
That's
watching YouTube and eating a Big Mac.
Sarah, we haven't gotten your take on any of this. Is there anything you'd like to contribute in the thought process? And like your opinion?
Do you think reincarnation is possible?
100%, it's
That
possible.
depends on, like,
Everything's
do you think,
possible, in my opinion.
You reincarnate
Not me being gay.
like consciously, or do you think
That's
reincarnate
possible. That is very possible.
in a realistic kind of sense?
What'd you say?
Do you think like which like reincarnation are you thinking about? Like, are you reincarnating you're conscious of it,
Reincarnated as a cricket.
or do you like reincarnate as like your body returns to the earth, and then that
No.
energy that you returned is like returned to everything else?
I think in the way that your like soul once you die is like transferred into another being, like
And then you
being
have a new
born
experience,
or
That
right?
begs
an
the question:
animal
what is the
or
soul?
Have you seen
I don't
like
know.
all those like things about like children talking about past
Yeah,
lives, and then
yeah.
then like they're actually like
Children have
based off
also
of
said
somebody's
they've been to
Yeah.
heaven and met God too. So
Well,
I
you know,
don't know.
Yeah,
Mormons
well, I
believe
think
that
the
kids
reincarnation
on
is a
that?
little more validity than like
So
the
my
heaven and
theory
hell
on that
stuff,
is
because those have been
same
a little
as
bit disproven.
is the same as like the organ memory. So like organs have memory depending on like how you like from other people. So whenever someone dies, that part of them is like put back into the earth, right? And it's like it goes through the cycle of life. Like you become dirt. That that's food for or like earthworms. That's food for whatever. It's just the cycle of life, right? So I think like by the time you get recycled into like becoming a new person, you kind of just like remember that part of the like what was left of the original person, like the deja vu factor.
Like you were human, but now you're a different human. Like
Or
you're
you could have just been something else. Like you could just like remember being in a certain area that you weren't before. It doesn't have to
Okay,
be.
let
I
me
don't know.
ask
Listen, like
something.
I listen when I was young. I used to create stories about a past life. I
Yeah,
still, I still don't know if that was just my imagination or real. I don't think it was real, but like in my head, I still think back to those memories of like seeing this life that I would talk to my parents about, and
You
I'm like,
remember?
man, that was kind of strange. Like, I had like very detailed images in my
and
head, but
that could
that could have just
also,
been an imaginative
but
fucking
you could
5-year-old.
also
I
like
don't
make
know.
an argument for the multiverse theory
Yeah,
that
that's
there's
like when
Oh
your
my god.
dreams are your
multiverse.
life in
Oh my god.
another universe. That's
Yeah,
just
where
you.
you're
You
like
have another version of you experiencing
But
things.
people talk about dreams, and they say dreams are nothing more than you looking through the eyes of another like
Another
version of
version of
yourself.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Dreams are interesting to
But
me because like you just fucking you experience everything in
oh
these
my
dreams. I don't
fucking
know how
god.
what
Camera, I just
Oh yeah, I forgot to give you this other one. Like, remind
I
me
can't
that after we get done.
setting.
just
That's
like I
it.
don't know
Yeah,
how
I think
vivid
this
a
one.
dream
This one didn't have that issue, so I'll give
I
it
don't
to
know
you
how vivid
after.
your guys' dreams are, but sometimes mine are so eerily vivid that
Horrible.
it
Yeah.
like makes me
I have
really like question
there was a
reality
point.
because like
Yeah.
your brain can create an exact image and almost feeling like I have felt things in dreams that have likened
Yes.
Sarah's
reality.
felt bombs.
Yes.
Like
Nuclear
I've listen,
explosions, like
yeah,
I feel like I felt that
I have
before.
felt things that like, yeah, I've never felt
Oh,
before
whoa,
and
whoa, whoa.
like they felt real and like, I've been hurt in dreams and I felt pain, but it wasn't like as much as
Yeah.
it would be. Like I've been stabbed, I've been shot,
There was
and it's never like too intense, but like
there was
anytime
a
I've died in a dream,
Yeah.
anytime it's been so scarily real that I wake up and I'm like, bro, what the fuck like is
Well,
reality
there
if
was
my
a point
brain
in
can
my life
create it itself?
there was a point
What
in
am
my
I
life
experiencing right now?
there was a point in my life where I was like keeping a journal of like every like vivid dream I was having, and I had like 13
I get,
pages
bro.
of like just vivid like story like, item by item what
I
happened.
have vivid dreams every night, Freezy. If I did that, I'd go crazy
Oh
because
no, I just wanted
it's
to like
hell.
go back and look at them, and I was like reading them, and like they made no sense.
REM sleep sucks. Like I am constantly in fucking REM, which is like
And
rapid
the
eye
only
movement
like
sleep.
conclusion I
the
could
best
come to
type
is that I'm just
though.
like looking in the
No, it's not. It is restless and it doesn't make you feel fucking like rested whenever
What
you wake
about
up.
K-holes? Like,
Cake hole?
K-holes. Like if
Oh,
you know how people experience like whole lifetimes of
yeah. Doing
memories
ketamine.
and feelings
Yeah, I've heard that with
within,
like
like,
different drugs.
Or
hours.
Like
DMT,
that guy
you
who did
experience meeting God. I've had
that
multiple
Like
guy on
people tell me
Joe
that.
Rogan where he
like,
was
right
like on
before death.
salvia. He lived
DMT,
3
you meet
months
the machine
underwater
elves.
Yeah,
on some
yeah.
psilocybin.
You meet the machine elves whenever you do DMT.
Oh, the DMT. So
The
those are
angel,
always
yeah, you
interesting.
can you meet angels, you can meet like gods, aliens,
That's
all on
more just
DMT.
like
Well, to me,
that's
that
just more
also
of like
begs the
your brain
question:
coming to terms
dimensions.
with like stuff. Like
Ego death, yeah.
no. I think it's more of like your brain having issues that it's having, and then it's coming to terms with it in terms of visual stimulation. And so it's like you'll see stuff that like is all inspiring and crazy looking, and it's like just to like answer a question you're having in your own personal
I mean,
life.
I think everything has a scientific answer, and
Yeah,
like when
Yeah.
it comes to like that stuff, like to me, dimensions come into like question like, are
it's
there
like where do
multiple
black holes go
dimensions?
to? Where do black
Because
holes
like
go to?
our brains only perceive what we see and what we experience, but we know there's much more, right? Like we can't see UV rays, we can't see these
Like,
colors,
yeah,
we
dark
can't
matter.
see, yeah, we can't see certain things. Like, so what if there are other dimensions? And to
There's
me,
like
like when it comes
70.
to all that spiritual shit, all like ghosts, all that, like what if that's just ripples in time or other
But
dimensions
yeah,
that we
dimension.
don't understand yet, and we can't see it, like
I
just because we're human and we're limited by our
Yeah, I'm more
perceptual
inclined
ability.
to like believing like dimensional theories than I am like spirituality.
Would you fuck a ghost?
So,
Yeah.
That's one,
like,
yeah.
listen, just to me, like everything has a scientific answer, and we're just not advanced enough to like understand it. Like
Yeah.
everything with heaven, hell, ghost, fucking,
Everything has an answer.
like
It's
I
just a
know
matter of
Joe, you're
answer.
super against like believing in ghosts and like
Ghosts
different
don't
things like
exist.
that, or like
I'll
demons or
stay by
whatever.
that.
So no head?
I mean, I think there's something to it, but like I don't necessarily believe it's spiritual. I believe that it's
I
more
think if
like
like some people,
scientific. There's too many people that have experienced things that are too weird for me to believe that it's just nothing,
Yeah, but we
right? That
also
it's
think
just
that
the
Bigfoot's
brain
real
creating
and the
it.
Mothman. Like,
Bigfoot
that's
is more like believable, like as like a
it's
North American
believable, but
ape.
it's like we've proven that a lot of people, like especially like like the number of ghost sightings goes down like every year, and like there were so many ghost sightings back when people were just bored and like they didn't have lights on at night.
But
They didn't have
it's
glasses.
listen, like
Like
Joe, I know you also come from someone that like you don't have any personal experiences
I do
or
not.
family
I do
experiences. Like
not.
I have people in my family that have had eerie fucking experiences that like I 100% believe because I don't think they're bullshitting. I don't think they're making up shit, right? And
I
like
need
Like
to
in
see it for
religion,
myself.
it makes
like
Like
like in
Well,
religion, I
okay,
mean, my family has bunch of stories about feeling the, Holy Spirit, and they have all these
mm,
stories, and
felt
it's
it come
like,
in me.
um, there's a there's like a story and like historical evidence about people of like myths and stories about how like certain mythological creatures came into being, and that's just because ancient people were terrible at describing things. So like they would describe a giraffe as the body of a horse, the legs of a horse,
Yeah,
but
like a griffin.
the neck of a snake, the head of
yeah,
or the head of
the whole
this
like
unicorn.
exaggerating thing. I mean,
Yeah, so
sometimes
it's
that's
like
how I feel about Jesus, right? What if Jesus I was like, what if Jesus was just a cool dude who helped people and they were like, this
Yeah.
man saved a man from drowning? No, he walked on fucking water, dude.
Well, they
He went out there
say
and grabbed that man straight out. Like
there's
I'm like that could be a possibility. We
yeah.
don't know. We
There's a
weren't
lake in
there.
the Middle East that
Nobody
you
was
can
there.
appear to walk on water because there's so much like salt that like you will literally look like you're like walking on water because you just float so much.
also
diet.
volcanic
It
like
just
minerals that seep into the water turn it into a blood red color and they give it the taste of iron.
Mm.
there's
And
so
that's
yeah,
like
it's just
undeniable
it's so
representation.
hard because like none of us were in the past. Like you can't ever 100% prove what
Well, you
people were
also can't
saying.
100% prove the Bible because the Bible was taken from original scripts,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but
rewritten,
see, the fact is
edited.
also you can't disprove anything
Yeah.
either, which is what sucks. You can only
Right.
disprove you can disprove a
You
lot.
can't
Like
prove
there are
it
things
either.
that we have disproved, but you can't
Okay.
disprove everything. Like
I
that's what
saw,
I think.
yeah, a
Like
thing that was like
I'm
we've lost
I'm
like
never on one side or the
70%
other.
of history just because like like we just didn't record shit, for the longest time.
Well,
like,
and also think
Dark
about all
Age.
the people that were in power that just changed shit to
yeah.
make it fit their narrative, so they could keep power and keep people
That's what I'm saying. Look
under
at
their fucking control.
the King James version of the Bible is a version of the Bible that was edited by not ancient, but like medieval. Is like I guess it would be like Europeans. So it's like they took original scripts and made it into their own image.
They're like
So
white
it's
men
like,
good.
Yeah, you can't trust the original.
The women serve the men.
It's a game of telephone throughout like history. So the original story could have also been like a story of like telephone between people. So you can't trust the narrative like at all.
Yeah, time travel would really fuck up everything we know
Like,
about history.
imagine like looking back and then like how they said that he made a blind man see. What if he was just very like ahead of his time and he could like reverse cataracts? But it's like that goes down the pipeline.
Yeah, people.
He could make blind man see.
You love exaggerating.
Or
shit,
he was
man.
just like, yeah,
look
I've
at how
seen
much
this.
we
A
do
guy
it
had this
now,
in my
man.
village, bro. Like, I know how to fix it.
With anybody that's
Yeah.
been a historical figure, even in recent times, they exaggerate the hell out of them and also don't talk about their downsides.
Yeah.
Talk about Gandhi, bro. Look at how much he's hailed as this and that, but he fucking like laid down with his fucking naked fucking nieces to like hold.
Well,
like,
the
try to
new
help his
Dalai Lama is in hot water
like,
because
some shit, bro.
he
Like,
asked a little boy to suck his tongue.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Weird,
god.
Like fucking Tom Brady over here making out with his son. I saw this. That one's a little more innocent. Like, I'll still give him grief for it just because it is weird. But I know it's like some families
like,
believe in that.
You know, in the Mormon church, like I remember having to sit down with the like head of the church and tell, like, my parents forced me to sit down with him and tell him specifically like all the like sexual sins I had done. Like, I talked to this old ass man about all that as like a young teenager,
so weird.
and that's so fucked up. And I didn't realize
so
it until way later.
Yeah. It's also funny. I said like earlier that the Fear and podcast, like, we're following the same like structure they did. But it's also funny because Cutie Cinderella is a former Mormon, and we also have a former Mormon here as well.
Token ex-Mormon.
Yeah. I think if I bet if we were that group, obviously Sarah would be Cutie Cinderella. I think Freezy would be Hasanabi. I think Dan would be Will Neff, and I think I would be Austin Show.
Okay, let's not compare ourselves to other random people.
What?
I thought we were talking about religious figures. How did we get to this?
Oh, we switched up while you were gone. We are hitting these topics. We have transitioned from so many topics in the past 2 hours. It's crazy. And like when Dan, like,
track of everything.
When you and I are just the only ones sitting here talking, like, we kind of stagnate a lot more. We're a lot like, oh, well, what are we going to talk about? With more people, the conversation flows so much easier.
Yeah, we get into topics, but also you and me have a specific conversation type. And I will say, Freezy himself, he is very good at egging on conversations, especially that are argumentative in nature. So, like, he plays a big role.
Podcast?
No, it's not. Yeah, that's the thing.
Honestly.
But it's funny.
Me and Joe will secede. Like, either side. We won't keep being like, well, what if? But like, we can do that, but like we
just don't.
I wanted to talk about this because I don't know if anybody's like heard about it.
Pause. It was fucking.
Okay, so in the like Buddhist religion, there is a figure called the Dalai Lama who is basically like the Pope of Buddhism.
We just talked about this while you were gone. Him sucking the tongue. Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay, but no, what were you gonna say about it?
You're right.
I was just gonna bring it up. I was like, did you all hear about the Dalai Lama?
Yeah. Funny enough, we've all heard about it. That's crazy.
I heard like varying things. I heard like some like there was some reason behind it, and like there was some like cultural.
Telling a boy to suck my tongue. There's nothing behind it.
Well, there's a fucking culture out there that the boys are supposed to suck the cocks of the men of the village because
some African tribe.
Yeah, because it's supposedly the semen promotes growth and like strength.
No, it doesn't. These motherfuckers were sick.
Yeah,
and satisfying their sexual.
Yeah, they were just like, yes. It probably started as a joke. Some guy was like, hey dude, come suck my dick, like you'll get strong. And then like he was like, holy shit, he's actually sucking it, guys. Like,
Oh my god.
let's just say this every year. Oh my god. Oh fuck.
I don't know. The world's pretty fucked up, bro.
Can I say something controversial?
Uh-oh.
Of course, always.
That's what happens on podcasts. This is where we clip it, Dan.
Wait,
All right,
wait,
for
wait,
future
hold on. Let me
reference.
clear up my camera. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
Say
I
fast.
think that as a society, we won't get
Society.
further in terms of like progression or like advancements if we don't get away from the archaic thinking of religion.
Yeah.
Is that like that's pretty?
I mean,
No, look at,
religion divides more than it unites.
I'm just saying,
so-
look at like our political structure and what debates we're having now in like politics. So it's like we're literally having debates on whether people who believe that they are an opposite gender of what they were assigned at, they are saying that they can't do that because of religion, or people are saying they want to have an abortion. They're saying my religion dictates that's bad. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like we as a society can't move forward when we have these fucking people saying my religion says.
I mean,
we can't
yeah, I think religions have the same problem that just modern societies have, is just
Twitter.
being stuck in the past. Like I saw, like I think it was like Bill Maher, like recently, like he was like making jokes about like people always like like talk about like slavery and all that, and it's like, man, if you lived 500 years ago, you wouldn't be like, oh, slavery's bad, trans people should have rights. You would not fucking think about that.
Well,
You wouldn't
I mean,
give two shits. You would just go with the flow of society.
in Native American
So
culture,
it's really
trans like ideology was already a thing. In other like cultures, trans people, like in Hawaiian philosophy, that's trans people are a thing. It's people who like encompass both
it's
the
just
male and female perspective.
gender is such a human thing. Like in
Gender is gender is
animals
nothing more than
sexes
like
can
a
be changed,
Yeah,
but like
very
animals don't
fluid.
think about genders. They don't think
Yeah.
about like
gender is nothing
roles
more
or
than,
things
like,
that we
a
do.
societal thing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
it's just I get confused. When it
Look
comes
at
to,
Sarah,
like,
she's
gender.
loving this.
Like,
What
It's-
a
it's
woke
way we-
group. I love this.
Woke.
It's
roles
way to
come
put
into
people
question.
into
Like, why do you
groups.
want to be a certain gender when like everybody can do anything?
okay.
There are no gender
is how I
roles.
look
Like,
at
I'm
it.
so
Okay,
I
this is
don't
how I
know.
look at it. Okay, this is from like a gamer's perspective. Okay?
Oh my god. Oh no, oh no. From
I
a
thought you were
gamer.
gonna say a gay man.
No, gamer. So in the video games, we have character customization, right?
Yeah.
And that character customization may or may not have an impact on the encompassing story of whatever
Yes.
game you're playing, right?
Yeah.
So whenever people like customize characters, they put it into what is their liking. So in real life, people are like, I myself do not fit in with this role that I am playing because I am not the gender I am like what I think I am. So therefore, I'm going to switch it to be more comfortable in life. And then you old
This
heads
is
are like,
Freezy's coming
no.
out story. This is how he
Joe?
comes out to
but
us.
no, it's just I
Do you
also
always play a
don't.
woman, Joe?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
like, isn't there supposed to not
Yeah.
be like roles for genders like anymore? Like,
Yeah.
aren't we supposed to be able to do
say
whatever on either side? So
They
like
say
to me that makes it difficult because it's
Yeah.
like certain people want to feel a certain
Yeah.
way, but
What
like,
about
you
from a
can feel
medical
that way-
standpoint? Should we have
No, 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 no,
genders for
okay,
like, you
you're looking at it the
know?
wrong way. You're looking at it the wrong way. So you said that there's no roles for genders, right?
Or I mean, there's not supposed right. We're supposed to move
Yeah, but
past
no,
that now, right? Like,
but that's the roles that they have set are for a assigned at birth female or assigned at birth male. So like a role technically right now, like look in sports. If you are assigned female at birth, you are societal standards say you should play sports that are of other women who are assigned at birth.
and that that comes to more to physical ability. Which I
Yeah,
do
but I'm
believe
saying,
there is there's physical differences between men and women biologically, of
I'm
course.
just saying, like in society and like jobs and like roles and stuff, people who are one gender transitioning to another, society looks at them to fill certain roles.
Okay, so then let me ask the question, all right? The big question, the controversial question. Like,
Yeah.
in this situation, like, you know, should, biologically born males who transition to females be able to compete in female sports and vice versa?
I fully believe they should be separated still.
So
think it should
even if they transition, they should be based off their biological
Even if they
gender?
transition, because
No, okay.
listen,
I
there
think
is-
it's up to the people who are like actively participating in the sports.
man,
if
I
if
think
there are women in
they're
the sport who are comfortable with it, go ahead. If they're like, no, I don't want to.
But we
then
need a
don't.
standardized
Listen,
rule. We
Wait,
can't leave
wait,
it from
wait.
group to group.
I've watched women in men's sports. I've been watching like the time differences of like track meets. The differences are drastic between like females and males, like of top end performance.
But you just said gender doesn't exist anymore.
Wait, hold on. I have the solution.
Gender is different than
Sarah.
sex, is it not? Like,
I
is that
think
not
the
what
only solution is I think being transgender is there's so many people who are transgender now. It is not like nobody blinks an eye anymore except for Chris.
Quite a few people do, but it's still,
there's so many transgender athletes. Make their own league. Like make a separate league and then it's no issue.
But
like,
then I feel like
against
other
transgender people.
So
I feel like a lot of transgender people would have an issue with that. Because they would be like, if I am a woman,
they get nothing but hate in regular league.
Whenever women compete in sports, they get tested like, men get tested. Women get tested for testosterone, right? Because if women are taking testosterone supplements,
that's seen as like
they have an advantage. Yeah. And if their testosterone is too high, that means they most likely took supplements. And I have seen stories of like women with natural amounts of testosterone that have been disqualified, which to me doesn't, obviously that's not fair, right? They just have a natural advantage like any male athlete would.
We're just putting transgender into another box because we're saying, okay, you can't compete with this, you can't compete with that, so you're going to do your own thing. So I think like
a lot of transgender people don't want that though. They want to be in like the box that they feel. They don't want to be separated, excluded.
Like males, like biologically as a male, you have a physical advantage over the majority of women. That is like that's factual. Like your muscle mass on your body is literally built different than it is on the female body. Well, I mean, it is.
I think it is
the
unfair.
The distribution is different. Like, and it would create an unfair advantage. We've seen people like transgender, biologically male athletes like go like heavens ahead in wrestling in different sports. And like, I saw somebody say like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, male superiority. We should let transgenders fight. Like,
I just feel like
keep winning in every sport, but like,
such like a small like sample
really
size that like we can't make a definitive answer. Like, you can like find women who are so good at their sport, no man in their like relative like weight class can like go against them, man or woman. But you can also find men who can just stomp any woman from their weight class, lower or higher. So it's just like the sample size, because we only talk about like, with that one guy or that one girl or that one transgender person.
Women
or that
can't compete in physical sports. Like men
I'm just saying,
would always win. Mental sports are different, of course.
I'm just saying, like, the sample size of transgender competing in opposite gender sports is too small to make any sort of definitive answer.
Do you think if they made like a separate, so I didn't mean to cut you off, Harry.
The way it works.
If they made a separate like league for these people, not only does that eliminate every issue, if you're talking about high testosterone, well, it's different because there's a different level of testosterone across the board.
Like, we have a different league for Paralympics. We have the
Paralympics. Yeah.
Are we gonna put transgender in their own like?
That's what I'm saying.
Why not? We have so many categories already. Why not include that?
But then how would they qualify them? How would they test for different things? They would have to throw out the door
the Olympics.
I mean, if you're going
sports,
against,
they have to test for testosterone use because
so if it's a transgender woman's sport, the testosterone levels are going to be higher. So therefore, the level of acceptance is going to be higher.
Women's sports and transgender men's sports. So you would just come back to separating them by.
But it's separate because if you put a biological woman and a transgender woman, they're going to be different. But if you put two transgender women, they're going to be like, Like I just feel
I get what you're saying, but I don't think they would ever want that. They want to just compete in the sport that they feel like they're assigned.
They themselves are a woman. They're not a transgender woman. They themselves.
That is part of their identity, though.
Yeah, so
I don't think any transgender woman is going to be like, nope, I never transitioned. When I am not transgender. You know what I mean?
Anytime you bring up biological stuff, everybody gets upset because it's really like it's hard to talk about.
Complicated of an issue.
I mean, biology does have a big play into it. Even if you take supplements.
I think that's true. I'm not arguing against that. But I think if you're putting
I don't think a lot of people
women
do.
with transgender woman or
A lot of people
transgender
also.
male,
I'm just saying, like in a transgender sport, if you have a transgender like female who was male to female, and they are participating in something sort of like similar to like MMA, and they're fighting female
And they're
competitors,
dominating the
they are
sport,
going to do
especially.
insanely well against those female competitors because
thing,
they
Probably.
so put them against each other. Put two
saying-
transgender women.
Let's
how
take
would-
all the trans
transgender
people
men
and
against
push
each
them
other.
over here.
It's just
And
at a
it's fair,
certain
like,
point.
what do
At
you-
a certain point,
Sarah.
how are you going to like?
Am I
How
gonna
are
get
you-
canceled?
Yeah, you
No.
might. I'm gonna post all this.
No.
Sarah,
Wait,
Sarah,
I feel like that's
Sarah.
fair.
Listen,
just
this
saying-
this
no, no,
podcast
no.
was never
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to be
yeah.
political. Fucking
No,
crazy.
Sarah. I'm just saying. What if this person? Like, I'm just gonna say, I'll put a what if out there because you're saying you said what transgender person would be upset about that, right? What?
Said
Okay.
that. I don't think I
think she
said it
said
like
that.
that. I don't think I said it like
You
that.
definitely miswording what she was saying.
But I
Okay.
get what you're saying. Yes.
But
when you said
okay,
you hate trans people. Remember when you said that just a second ago?
I did not. I'm
None of us
fighting for
ever
their
made
equality.
comment.
Yes, Harrison.
okay, let's say you put a transgender person in this transgender league, but they come to you and say, "I don't want to be in this league because I myself am a female," but they're male to female. What would you say to them?
No.
I mean, a paraplegic. They're like,
I identify
can
as
run.
non-disabled.
I can run, but there is a disability there, and they're like, I want to go against people who don't have a disability. It's
I think there are cases of them
okay.
Yeah.
that have had disabilities wanting to compete in regular.
So the
But I don't think
conclusion.
they're
I'm
allowed
not
to.
going
They're
to say that's
allowed
not going to
to.
happen.
Yeah, but they're not allowed
But
to
it's like-
because of like physical differences, though, right? Yeah, so I'm
That's
saying,
what
well,
I'm
no, I'm asking. I'm not making a statement. I'm asking, what would you say to him?
Say your question again, so I don't get this wrong.
Okay.
Like, well, okay, if there was a male to female transgender person who says,
Okay.
I myself identify as female and therefore I should be allowed to compete in female sports, what would you say to him?
I would say, I mean, if transgendered sports was a thing, you are a transgender woman, no transgender person is going to deny that, right? There is a transgender league.
So basically, Sarah's saying if you transition, you automatically have to go to this league.
So at what point is there a difference between being a trans woman and then just being a woman when people are making their decision?
Yeah, what if they don't want the?
What
I
do you
mean,
mean?
Like,
I don't know, like, right? Don't
I'm not
people,
a transgender
like,
woman. I'm a
yeah,
woman.
yeah.
exactly. But they are trans.
But
But they
did
only
you
identify as a woman. Do
transition-
you have to say that you're a trans? Like, I don't know at what point things.
I
become,
think with sports, that is something you have to disclose.
Well, okay, what about in
it
jobs? though?
should.
No, jobs don't require I mean, a lot of
Most
jobs don't
yeah.
require a physical, like, I can do your job, I can do your job, I can do your job, but I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
As
just
a
get
sport,
paid less.
I could not fight against any of you guys, except maybe Dan.
Oh! Creator clash! Creator clash! Let's go,
Okay.
Dan versus Sarah.
I don't think.
I would.
I
beat
don't
the
think.
shit-
I don't think.
I ain't no weak man, but
Hey, me and Joe did talk about getting like a boxing thing for like steady decline.
We did.
Yeah, I was gonna fight Leah.
Yeah.
I'm scared of her. She
No,
whipped my
you
ass.
were in a well.
Leah
You would
is
have the
strong,
advantage
Sarah,
there
okay,
because you would have a
Leah is
longer
strong.
reach and you would be in a higher weight class.
I would have a longer reach.
I think
Yeah.
you would because you're taller,
She's taller
than her.
than me.
Oh, she's taller than
taller
you.
than
I
me.
thought
Yeah.
you were taller than her.
Isn't she
is
5'5"?
5'4". Leah's 5'4"
Oh.
and a half.
Okay, I am the
likes to
same
say.
height.
Okay, so you all would actually make a
I
really
am the
good
same
fight.
height. I am
Holy
heavier
shit!
than her for
So that
sure.
means I would have to fight Joe, even though Joe's 3 foot taller than me.
3 inches taller,
3
but
foot.
I'll take 3 foot.
Well, I think our weight classes, are similar almost between me, you, and Freezy
Doesn't
here,
weight go
Joe.
into that factor, or not weight, but I mean height? Doesn't
No,
it?
height does
No,
not
it's
matter when
if
it comes
you-
to fighting.
yeah,
It's
if you can
only
shed the
weight. It's
pounds,
only
yeah.
weight.
Well, obviously, if you are a
Yeah.
lower height, you are seen having a disadvantage, but it's,
But
it's there's no rule against doing
Me
it.
and
There's
Joe have
people-
already fought once. So.
Okay, well, we won't have
Really?
big fucking stuffed little fucking paddles to hit
What?
each other with. We'll have fisticuffs.
Oh,
Okay.
at Project Prom.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
smacked the fuck out of Joe. And he
Yeah,
got
you
mad
hit
at
me once and
You cut
fucking,
him?
cut
I
my
remember
head.
that.
Yeah, I smacked him across the face. He's like, "What are you doing, Freezy? Stop that!"
Yeah.
I was like, "It's the game."
No, but don't hit my face. Hit my butt.
Well, listen, if we all learn how to box, who do you think's coming out on top out of the three of us?
I mean, I
No.
think every one of us, except for maybe Sarah, would say that we think that we would come out on top. It's like that guy thing where it's like you think if you were in a
What?
street fight, you would win. Like,
I'd beat the fuck out of you.
No, like
I would beat the fuck out of you guys. See, that's what I'm
No.
saying. I think we
No.
all would say that we
I'm
think we'd
more
beat
of
the fuck
like
out of each
a-
other.
No, I think about it more of like, yeah, who has the advantage of this and that? Like,
Yeah,
don't
I
know
will
how
say
hard-
I
don't-
have reach.
listen, know
I
you two are
consistently
big
work
guys that
out.
have,
Yeah.
like muscle. I don't know. Listen, I don't know how hard you guys can punch, but I also don't know how strategically you could fight.
Or how fast,
it
like,
all-
you can throw a punch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brokish said, "Yo."
So like, yeah,
Pay
I don't-
money,
it-
wubby top right. What? Pay money, wubby top right. Oh, pay what? Oh, you think that? That's Freezy.
Wait, what did they say?
What
did
is
they
it?
say?
Who's pay money? Why does that sound familiar?
Oh my
Let me
God.
look up
Money
pay
Wubby,
money.
that's
Wubby.
a fucking streamer, Joe.
I don't. What? I can't think of their face. I know the name, but I can't think of their
Right.
face.
He was at the streamer
Brokish
award.
is drunk also.
Except if Freezy had red hair, that would look exactly like Freezy. That's
Pull it up.
hilarious.
Let me see.
Wait,
All right,
well, I wanna-
here. I'll share it. Hold on.
Kind of pissed, bro. I know who he looks. I know who he is.
Is that supposed to be me?
Yeah, that's who he said you look like.
Doesn't look like him.
I can
It's
see
the
it.
yeah, I can see
That's
it. Yeah, the
I can
beard
see
and the
it.
hair. It's just he has a different
Weird.
color. He's
Yeah,
a
I can see
ginger.
it.
Yeah, I could
I
see
can
it.
see it. I think it's more so the glasses.
Yeah, that too. That doesn't hurt. Yeah,
Damn it.
I can see. Yeah.
I think he has better hair than I do.
I think it's just
I feel like you
longer.
have pretty good hair. I feel like it's the same. One's orange.
Green
one's
shirt.
brown.
What is that special? Or what is that? You know,
Does
what-
he normally
'Cause
wear?
he's Irish.
Oh.
I mean, that was an
that was a
assumption. I shouldn't have
stereotype.
done-
Cancel.
I-
Okay.
Fuck.
I
Oh,
am
he does
Irish.
green
Well,
screen shit. Oh,
My
okay.
family is Irish
I'm
I feel
Scottish.
like every white person has some Irish in them.
or German or Italian.
Or all of the above.
That's just white
Or-
people.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's just all. You're just naming all the white people in the world.
No, but like I have a relative who like traced back like our entire like
Oh
lineage.
shit. My bad.
And like we found like there was like castles in Ireland called Boyd Castle. That's like my
Yeah.
mom's maiden name.
Yeah.
So it's like
Wow,
there's,
you're
like-
really Irish.
yeah, so like we found like historical evidence that we were like in Ireland.
I took a 23andMe.
There's
Yes.
also
Oh fuck.
we were in I think it was Mr. A's
Oh.
class where he talked about last names and like their meanings.
Yeah.
And like last names back in the day were more about your like jobs and what you did. And so like my name like my last name would be more so like a warden or something like that.
Mine would
What's your
be
last name?
Daniels.
Oh.
The proud Daniels career.
What would that be like Dan?
No, they said my
Look it
name
up,
was
look it
Mick.
up.
My name was Mick Daniels. Drop the Mick when we moved to America.
Don't say that, Joe. That's a slur.
When
Yeah.
I looked up the
Oh,
origin
sorry,
of it,
yeah.
it said,
I
it
didn't-
said skilled
That's a
board
slur.
game player.
Oh
that was my
God.
bad. It's true though. That's Mick Daniels. I was like McDonald's. I should be McDonald's. I only talk to people who make over 70K a year. Oh, what's the stream pod all about? This stream pod. So it's kind of interesting. We don't know. It's kind of ever evolving, ever changing. But like basically the stream started out with me and Dan here, the guy to my left, and basically the initial like idea of it was a place where we could just like talk about things that weren't super serious and like fuck around, get drunk, shoot the shit, play games, and like basically just like kind of get away from like the shit of the world, the steady decline of everything. And apparently, like we're at this point now where we're just discussing controversial topics. So and there's 4 of us, so Oh, I've been here. Oh, so okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I didn't know. I don't know how long at this point, like people, have been around. Because like we get new and old people. Sometimes you get people on different accounts, and like a lot of times I just don't remember people's names. But I don't know, like at what point people like joined or like when they started watching anymore. So I just assume that nobody has seen our shit, just in case they haven't. We hugged for sure. No, I don't remember that. But yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that guy that was in your stream on your personal channel who was like, he was just calling me gay because I didn't work 90 hours or some shit
Yeah, I
like
remember
that?
that fucking like King something like.
Yeah, it was like his whole thing was like, if you don't like work yourself into the ground, you're not a man. And I'm just like, yeah, 90 hours. He was like bragging about how he doesn't have a life.
Yeah, that was like so fucking what's it called? Like it was funny. It was like it
Probably
was
spelled
pretty
it loser.
yeah. Huh? He
He
probably
spelled it loser.
what's that guy the fucking
He spelled it wrong, is what he was saying.
yeah, he was something special.
He was
Yeah.
definitely a bubby from like, he said he was from Connecticut.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had bubbies that far up.
Bubby in Connecticut? I was introduced to the term bubby when I moved to Pikeville.
Hold on, I gotta pee. Continue. Ugh.
I'm done.
Ugh.
We're from all over. Like I won't say specifics, but it's kind of like they're from Texas, we're from Kentucky, but like we all kind of
What?
like. Well, I don't know where you're from actually. I'm from my
That's
mom's
a good
pussy, but I
question.
reside in Chicago suburbs.
Oh, I
That's
thought you
cool.
were saying that, Freezy.
No, I don't reside in the
Out of
Chicago
character.
suburbs. Whoa, that was weird. The pussy part. Yikes.
A little. It's okay.
Ban
It's
that guy.
true. Probably.
So you're wanting to ban yourself? Or me for
What?
reading it out loud?
What? No. What time is it? Holy shit.
Me?
Oh, my phone's dead. What are we doing after this? How long are you guys taking this?
I think we're gonna end it here soon.
Yeah, Joe said the same
I'd say
thing.
y'all been going for 3 hours.
Yeah, I immediately, after I got on you, I started talking about Valorant, history, government, AI, all stuff I know zero things about.
Anyways, I got a dip. I shit my pants a bit I shit a bit in my pants. Gotta clean up. It's all over. Okay. Good luck with that.
Okay.
Did you open the new yogurt?
Yogurt.
He's a good boy.
Dude, I'm like fucked right now, like drunk.
I
I'm
know
a little
you were
inebriated.
slamming them. I've had one
I've
White
been
Claw.
debating on whether to drink a little more, but we're gonna drink tomorrow, so I don't know if
Well,
I
I'm trying
should.
to just like get my dues in before the week comes, so. And I gotta cut grass tomorrow and everything, so it's like I might as well.
I'll probably get more drunk tomorrow, though, for sure.
I'll drink a little bit tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna get drunk
A
tonight.
little bit.
I've had 4. I think I'm gonna go for 6.
I need more nicotine, bro.
Well,
right, Joe, you wanna end it?
yeah, it's been a good. How long did we go for? It's almost been 3 hours. That's a minute when like for a while there we would be lucky to make it to 2 hours. Having more people definitely does help keep the conversation going. I will say
having the argument
fill up more time. But thank you anyone who watched, chatted. We appreciate it. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow for our D&D stream, and then we'll actually be back next Thursday for another D&D stream, and then Saturday again for the regularly scheduled podcast next Saturday. But thank you everyone. Hawaiian Churcho on YouTube, new video just posted today. Go give it a watch. Even if you don't want to watch it, put it on in the background. Thank you everyone.